uncle, right? I have the right to address Showore the way I like. You don't know what Showore did to me. So learn to control your emotion, right? That's the only thing I'm going to tell you. But if you don't want to control your emotion and you insult me here, I'm going to insult you 100%.
Okay.
You understand? You cannot insult me on a normal ground. Fiscally, you can't insult me, right? I will treat you like a child. If you insult me physically, I will handle you like a child. I don't care your age. Do you understand? You are powerful over the camera, so you can say whatever you want to say, but you can't yet say it to me physically. You understand? I will handle you like a kid.
Can we arrange the meeting ground? Can we arrange the meeting ground?
So learn to control your emotion. You understand?
Okay.
Please don't take him out. I also have a right to respond because you mentioned my name. There's no need to take him out. All you have to do is to meet them or something. And you're taking too long to admonish them.
Comment.
What did you say?
Comment.
I know, but he mentioned my name, so I'm asking to respond to him.
When he gets your time, then you make
No. He mentioned my name.
If you want to make it rowdy, I will take you out.
Take me out, you son of a bitch. Take me out. You think you're a big boy because you're moderating.
Take him out, please.
Hello, come on, don't use such word now.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good to see you all again. It's good to be with you today. Sorry, a bit. Okay, I seem to be on 2 sessions. All right. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We will have a very interesting discourse this evening, and it's not going to be like our usual discourse because I think I'm being a bit emotional on this. So forgive me if I don't if I don't be my usual self, because the Igbos have a proverb that an animal that the animal that walks zigzag, when you want to shoot it, you also shoot it zigzag, and that's what the Nigerian situation has become. So this evening we're going to be looking at what is on ground. I'll first start. Let's start on a lighter note. Of course, President Trump has again called out Nigerian leaders this evening or this afternoon, telling them that outlining what he will probably do if they do not do take care of the genocide going on in Nigeria. And you all know that also, while this last 1 week, the killings have continued. It didn't abate, and the same character that they use, which is that when it's done, when the killings start, when the attack starts, the military or the police, nobody shows up until all is done. The community is totally wiped out, and then they begin to come, and that's when they begin to look for how to defend or what to say. Of course, you also know that now the narrative going on in Nigeria is that it is the Igbos, the IPOB, that have mounted a campaign against Nigeria in this and have been able to secure what is going on. It is the Igbos. It seems to me that the Igbos have become a very bad egg, and I don't know why they keep leaving these terrible people in the same community called Nigeria. So now the discussion has gone from no genocide going on to being the Igbos who are the ones putting Nigeria in a bad light by going to mount a campaign against the federal government of Nigeria. Consequently, it is being now said that the Igbos are looking for Trump to come because they are hoping that Trump will give them Biafra. That's nothing we will not hear in Nigeria, and that's nothing they will not accuse the Igbo man of. If you go to any point in time, there's a discussion and they have nothing else to say, it will go to the Igbos. I was looking for a video of Mr. Adele Alake, what's his name now, the presidential spokesperson. This guy used to be a very powerful journalist. We all read about him in the universities, those days, and what he did in the time where he was working, with the news magazine in Nigeria. There were those fearless people we read about so much. But today it beats my imagination of what they sit in government office and try to lecture journalists on how to do their job. And even try to let you know that you don't even know what you're supposed to be doing. Journalism in Nigeria is when the journalist takes the news that the government have pushed out and report it verbatim without checking anything, without just making any amendment to whatever they've been given. If that is published as it is, then you are a good journalist. But the moment you begin to ask one question or the other, or try to even verify what you have been told, you have become a nosy journalist. You have become a person non grata. You have become the opposition leader who does not want to see the government succeed. That is why journalism have gone to the dogs in Nigeria. And those who even dare to speak don't last in the job. Why don't you last? Because you are asked you are told what to say and what not to say. That's why when you watch Nigerian channels, you see them struggling to try to hush the person who they've even called to come and interview. And they become the adversary in an interview where they've called you to hear your view. And that the view you are trying to convert becomes the point of their argument. If they so knew that's what they wanted to let you have, why did they invite you? And so that is where we are with the issue. The issue is that, a friend of mine called me this evening from Abuja and said, everywhere I done hot, everywhere I done red. I said, waiting to happen. He said, people are running helter-skelter. Nobody knows where to put their head because they don't know what will happen soon. So nobody really knows. It is in this quest of confusion and how to even respond that we find ourselves. And we have many times talked on this channel that the problem with our government is that we are on a fire brigade approach every time. Those who are coming up with this good idea right now have been sitting in that country for the last 10 years. Why this genocide continues? They've been sitting. They tell the people of Benue, go and make peace with your neighbors. That's what Buhari said to the people of Benue the first time. Go and make peace with the people of your neighbors. When Tinubu went to Benue this time around, what did he do? It was a party. School children were lined up along the road under the rain, waiting for him to come and pass. And what did he ended up telling the Totiv? He said to him, make peace with your neighbors. These people are your neighbors. And the Totiv was, as always, told him to his face, this is not neighborhood. This is genocide. I remember one of the representatives of Magban going to tell the Totiv that they have always lived in peace, and now they have some miscreants. Those miscreants should not be the people who will now cause trouble between the Tea people and the Fulani people who have always been neighbors. And the Totiv said to him, yes, I agree. But, if you have a madman or a madman among the mechanics, and nobody seems to know who the mechanic is and who the madman is, what do you tell the mechanics? You tell them to go and sort out the madman from you people and remove him from me, so we know who is madman and who is the mechanic. It's simple, and it's very logical. You people tell us they are not part of you, they are miscreants. Go take care of your miscreants. We shouldn't lose our people. We shouldn't lose our community. We shouldn't lose our farmland because of miscrimes that is running amok in the nation called Nigeria. And one begins to wonder. If you wander too backward and you're someone who is a thinker or an avid reader, you'll have known that when they started the Ruga thing have not gone away. Remember, the intention was to have land in 774 local governments of Nigeria. And so that plan is still very consistent. You know that also, no matter what anybody tells you, take it to the bank, I tell you, the purpose of Islam is to take over the nations. And Nigeria have been marked down. Of course, those of you who know, there's what is called the Abuja Declaration of 1989. Go check it out. The document used to be on the internet, but I think they pulled it down when we started making reference to it. You know, the Abuja Declaration. It was on how they intend to take over Abuja, take over Nigeria, and Islamize it at all costs. So when some people come and tell us it's not about Islam, I wonder why they say that. And I wonder why now it's only one set of people that are contesting that there is no genocide. There's no genocide, but it's one set of people, you know, buying the other set of people. But there's no genocide. There's no genocide. You don't hear of the Christian community in Sokoto State buying the other people. You know, but they say it is a, you know, clash. The clash only leaves one set of people lying dead at the end. Well, I've never seen any other set. So, as we begin to look at the reality before us and see what the response of the government is going to be, there are charlatans like, you know, the Saudi Arabia deporting, terrorists negotiating, cleric in Nigeria who has been speaking unadvisably. That is what it is. We have come to a nation where someone who is supposed to be in prison is the one speaking on behalf of government, speaking on behalf of the nation, you know, going to negotiate, coming back and telling the army, look, you better respect yourself. Don't, harass these people too much because they may change their mind. Imagine, where else on earth can it happen? Where else can that happen? A ragtag army that goes on bike. We can't see them at night. We can't see them in daytime. Meanwhile, the northern states don't have anywhere like mangrove forest. They don't have anything like mangroves. The Sambisa forest we hear is full of shrubs. They can't see them. Nobody can see them. But they can trace a young Igbo man who said it is time for coup to happen in Nigeria. They can trace him from the social media post and go all the way to go and arrest him in Port Harcourt. But they cannot trace the ones who collect ransom from people and calling them and making bargains on phone until such ransoms are paid. And you say the government is not complacent. We forget that a man called Pantami. Pantami was one of the leaders of Boko Haram. I have an audio message where he was crying and saying, if he needs for him to be the commander, he will be the command. He will take over the command. To do what? Today, you all sit down. Some people come here and sit and begin to argue. These are things that are there. You know, but today we're not going to discuss that because it's a real discussion we'll have to have. We'll give it 3 hours only to deal with that. 3 hours for that. But for today, we're going to narrow down to what will happen tomorrow. And if you have looked at the caption of what we show, we say it's a question that Nnamdi Kanu asked in prison. In the court. He says, show me my crime. Show me the crime in law, and I will defend myself. Gentlemen and ladies, before you come in, ask yourself, do your research. If you're going to be put in prison, if you're going to defend yourself, won't somebody tell you what you have done? Is anybody who just comes and say, okay, yes, you say I should defend myself. You start talking from Lagos to Sokoto without knowing what you're talking about. So his simple question is, what is their crime? Where is it in the Nigerian Constitution? They couldn't show him, but he showed them where he's speaking from. And this is what he posted. And I'm going to give you a 4 cardinal point of what Nnamdi Kanu's argument is in court. Don't allow those people who have said he doesn't want to enter defense. He said, no, if you show me my crime right now, if you can read it out, take it and read it out, and I will start defending myself right here. The prosecuting counsel could not point to Kanu where in Nigerian law what they are accusing him of is. The judge, Justice Omotosho, I will come to Justice Omotosho in a short while, could not point out. Rather, what he said that, are you ready to defend yourself now? On what basis am I going to defend myself? Of course, we know Justice Omotosho, and I would like to advise Justice Omotosho. I want to put it this way. Justice Omotosho, if you can hear me, you're a young man. You still have a long way. Whatever you do to this case, even if they have given you the authority to find a way to hoodwink all of us and put him in prison or put him to death, know that whatever you do, posterity will judge not only you, but also your children. And your children, even to the 14th generation, will suffer whatever action you take. So you better think very well. This is not Wike's case. Think very well. Think very, very well before you take the action you want to take. We know people have concluded what you want to do, but think very well. Because at the end of the day, the buck lies with you. All right, having said that, this is Kanu's response to when he was asked. And yeah, that is what he said. Okay. Great. Okay, for one reason or another, it's not scrolling, but I'll adjust it. So what did Nnamdi Kanu say? Nnamdi Kanu said, in his argument, he said, there is no valid law or existing law defining his crime. The question is, what is the law saying? Where is the law that you are accusing me of? It's not just telling me that you, Nnamdi Kanu, is a child of where. Give me page and page. Let me give me the section and the page. Let me go and read for myself. Since I'm defending myself, I need to understand the law I'm defending myself on. Okay, that was not provided. He also invoked section 36, brackets 12 of the Nigerian Constitution, which protects against conviction without a clear, definite, defined offense. A clear, defined offense. That's what Nnamdi Kanu is asking for. What is my clear crime? What is the crime you are charging me? Call it by name. If you go to the hospital, you will see a doctor. The doctor will ask you, what is worrying you? And then when he finishes checking, he will tell you what he says he think is worrying you. Based on that, they will start treatment. So Nnamdi Kanu say, I have come. People will say, I have offended you. Offended the Constitution. Where is it in the Constitution? Nobody can give him that answer. Okay. Nnamdi Kanu claims that the Terrorism Prevention Act and Prohibition Act, under which he was charged, has been repealed or invalid. He refused to open his defense, stating that doing so will legitimize a trial that otherwise lacked any legitimacy. And I agree with him. I mean, if you cannot charge me, you are going to charge me. Show me which part, based on which section, so that I can now know. No, you just frame up things, which is what they've been doing. Remember that the Supreme Court had said to this same committee, this same prosecutor, that these laws don't exist anymore. Is the appeal court wrong? Is the Supreme Court wrong? These laws don't exist. What they're charging him don't exist. Are you going to manufacture a new law because it's an Igbo man? Are you going to? They don't exist. So you show me where you think I have offended, I've infringed the law, and I will defend myself. The court for 3 days have not been able to provide that answer. And now Justice Omotosho has said tomorrow will be your final day, after which you forfeit your defending yourself. And whatever evidence has been presented will be taken against you. Kanu demanded that the court specifically specify the exact legal charge against him. Tell me, what's a legal charge? Is it breaking an entry? What is it? Tell us. What is that term that is being used? Not able to give us that, and so the thing is hanging on a balance there, emphasizing his constitutional right to what? To fair hearing. Is there a fair hearing? Coming to fair hearing, I want to proceed on that. You know that Nnamdi Kanu, since he took over this case, he has been attacked by DSS in the dungeon. One DSS officer went there to beat him up. You know, in fact, nobody knows what would have happened if his colleagues did not come to his rescue. You know, so the question is to do as much damage as possible on Nnamdi Kanu before he can be either freed or whatever they plan to do to him. Now, that is one. Two, his lawyers were being, always constantly prevented from being able to access him. Even now, he cannot access files. He cannot access what to use to defend himself. He cannot access he wants to do an affidavit. He cannot. They don't allow people to go see him. So he's constantly under the threat, being guarded, being prevented, being controlled, being by the DSS. The question is, as you listen to this, even if you're not a person who believe Nnamdi Kanu is free, what has he done to derive all these atrocities committed against him? What has he done? What is the real reason? And I have my own, theory of what the reasons are for why they are doing all they are doing to him. And you will know what? It is because Nnamdi Kanu has revealed the ancient secrets which they've been keeping for long. They know he knows it. They know he has all the details. So the best to do is to make sure that he's not in a place where he can communicate that to anybody. The much he has communicated has done enough damage. But let me leave you. Let us not go too far. We have a lot to cover and a lot to discuss. And as I welcome people also to come in, I want you to know that it's going to be a very, very heated discourse, because I know that the people are out there waiting. They don't want to hear anything about Nnamdi Kanu. Yet they have their AK-47 wielding, machine gun carrying, men walking around and buying people all around in Nigeria. Those people deserve the right to do all they're doing. Nnamdi Kanu does not have such right, because why? He has spoken the unspoken. He knows the one that he shouldn't know. How did he get to know those information? We'll get to find out as we dive into it. Let's us just sit tight and let's go.
ebe ahụ ka ọ gwa anyị na ndị a na-achọzi igbu ya maka na ha nwụrụ ya ọgụ. Ofu onye n'ime ha nwụrụ ya ọgụ, gbaa ya ụkwụ. And unu mana Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ekwule na arụ adịrọ ya, ezigbote arụ adịrọ ya. And dịka ndị dọkịnta ya si wee kwuo, nwere ọtụtụ ọya ime ahụ nke ọ na-arịa, nke a na-ekwu ka gọọmenti hapụ ya ka ọ gaa lejuo onwe ya anya. Ha ajụ na ha ma hapụ ya. So n'elu ya ka mmadụ nwekwa ya ọgụ, gbaa ya ọkpa. Anyị amaghị plan ha. Mana enwere ihe m chọrọ ịrụtụ ndị Igbo aka na ka uche anyị dị ya. Onye ọbụla na-ege ihe igechi tụsa ya, onye ọbụla bụ onye Igbo, uche anyị dị ya. Ife ihe anyị na-akọ iri hip-hop asịkwa hip-hop asị gị. Ọ iberibe ka anyị dara maka na anyị amara ihe na-eme na erighị anyị mperi.
That I will not interpret. I will leave it for the Igbo speakers on this channel. Erigun Imperi. For I can be like darkness. The darkness we are in is too big, it's too deep. Before you wake up out of it, it may be too late. But let's also listen to this Mazi, the reason why they are doing what they are doing to him.
Biafra must come. And when Biafra does come, everybody will be free. If Biafra is not free, none of you is going to be free. And that is why I have said it before and allow me to repeat. We have come to set all of you free. And if you allow this nonsense to continue, you'll be sunk. If you have not gotten your Somali visa, go and get it now. Because the zoo is gone. And the hell has arrived.
They want to release me when I am about to die. These are the heavy words that came from Nnamdi Kanu, the detained leader of IPOB. And this statement alone has spread like wildfire across Nigeria and beyond. People are talking. People are worried. People are asking questions. Why did he say this? What is happening inside the detention that made him speak in such a way? My people, this gist today is deep, and I want you to stay with me from beginning to end. And as we move together, please don't forget to like this video right now and subscribe to the channel, because your support keeps this platform alive, and we want to keep giving you the news the way it is, in plain language everybody can understand. Now let's go straight into the matter. In recent days, the Federal High Court in Abuja has fixed a new date for an important ruling in Nnamdi Kanu's case. The new date is the 26th of September, and that day is very crucial because the court will decide on big issues around his trial. His lawyers have been pressing the court, saying the government does not have a strong case and that his health is already going down. They filed what is called a no-case submission, meaning they are telling the court, look, there is no real evidence here. This man should not be standing trial any longer.
Okay, that's like where the truth lies. You see, some people have wondered why did Nnamdi Kanu take up his case. Nnamdi Kanu took up his case for one major reason. Lawyers have barriers that they cannot cross. They have a way they have to respect the judge or even speak in the court. That when I, as a citizen, is addressing the court or speaking to the court, I may have more liberty to ask certain questions and the way I want. Now, if a lawyer was the one insisting that the court should rule on what he knows totally, that is right, the judge probably would have sanctioned the lawyer, so far for saying that you are disrespectful to the bench. I mean, But so far, you cannot do that because and if he's asking you what is right, what is a pertinent, very valid question. Answer it. And I want to say something for those of us who think, it is, look, Nnamdi Kanu is the epitome of what an Igbo man is. We're not afraid of the enemy, to face it squarely. We're not afraid to stand our ground once we know we are right. We're not coward. We're not cowarded by any circumstance or situation we find ourselves. We stand firm. Two things can happen. It's either you confront the enemy and defeat the enemy, or the enemy defeats you, but you'll not be there tomorrow. Okay? So, for those who keep wondering, why is it this way? That is the reason. That's the thing that majority of the people do not like. Because they expect that when they shout, you bow down. The mere fact that an Igbo man will refuse to bow down is what has always brought about their quest to see how to eliminate the Southeast. They've done everything, and they're still doing, to try and make sure that the Southeast is reduced to nothing. But who God bless, no one can curse. This is Nnamdi Kanu teaching people, because you see, there's two things. You could have a truth and refuse to tell it. or you don't even know it. Here is a situation where a senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN as they call them, is misinterpreting the law, including the judge. And that is why Justice Murtala Nyako, Justice Binta Nyako, we never forget Nnamdi Kanu, because he taught her what she never thought maybe she didn't even know. Okay? Because if you are a judge and you don't know the rules of the game, then how will you bring justice to people? You don't, and bring it, and it to be fair.
Man, I can't show them the petition for the simple reason that if you show it,
what the judge said was that the case file.
this is a federal gazetted law of Nigeria that says here that the chief judge of Nigeria cannot tell Binta Nyako what to do. It's here. It's your law. Of Nigeria, chairman of board of benchers. An old man like this doesn't know the law. You don't know the law. I'll give you a petition.
Imaginary and deliberately concocted to fuel antagonistic feelings amongst certain sections of the Nigerian people against the Kenyan people. And indeed, many countries have been accused. Rwanda, Czech Republic, Britain, Ethiopia, and God knows which other countries. I want to challenge anyone with the facts relating to this alleged arrest in Kenya to present these facts. This will include when, how, and who was particularly involved in the alleged arrest. And in any case, I believe we are all Nigerians. Nigeria is a sovereign country. It's your country. Instead of facing the Kenyan High Commission to Nigeria to ask some of these questions, you should face your own government. The government of Nigeria knows how they arrested, maybe in Nigeria, and took Kanu to court. They have the answers, not me. We are also disturbed, dismayed, and astonished by the unfortunate statement on this alleged arrest in Kenya, which was carried in the Nation newspaper today. The government of Kenya is particularly appalled by these spurious, derogatory, and libelous mention of the name of our dear president in this matter, as has been reported in the Nation, dated 2nd July 2021. It's unfortunate. I, as the High Commissioner of the Republic of Kenya and the Federal Republic of Nigeria, wish to categorically emphasize that our two countries, Kenya and Nigeria, have and continue to enjoy cordial diplomatic relations with both federal government of Nigeria and its great accommodating and amiable citizens. We have no intention of interfering with internal affairs of Nigeria, which includes arresting of our own citizens on matters of crime.
Celebrated, and those youths were happy, rejoicing that such a good thing happened and the military went and killed them all like chickens. We continue to ask, what is it that you're holding Nnamdi Kanu for? And we believe, as a British citizen, the British government's hand is in it, because Nnamdi was discussing about the atrocities they're doing in Nigeria. They don't want any development in Nigeria. Everything that we are doing is what Nnamdi was preaching on, and everything he have said before have happened today, and it's still happening. The jihadis coming in to work for the British government and to be killing people, the Fulani herdsmen, the terrorists, and that's what they are, killing people, trying to displace indigenous people, trying to take their lands from them, land grabbing. We want the world to look into it, more especially the United States government. For one thing, if nothing is done, once these jihadis get hold of the southeast, the Christians that they're trying to exterminate, they will have hold of the sweet crew. And once that happens, the next thing will be to challenge the United States and even the Britain that is encouraging them to do their bad deeds.
So, Father, I've heard that a Nigerian government official, the Inspector General of the DSS, Department of State Services, has said, Nigerians, defend yourselves from the terrorists and the bandits, end quote. So, Father, as a minister of God, do you support self-defense, especially where it may lead to the killing of your assailant?
Thank you very much, sir, for the question. And if you don't mind, let me begin by thanking you and your colleagues who have been working with us tirelessly to bring to the awareness of the world the level of injustice that is going on in Nigeria. It's getting too much. And at some point, somebody somewhere has to stand up and say, enough is enough. Now, coming to your question, yes, the Director General of DSS, who in American context, we might equate to the Director of Homeland Security, is a special government official in Nigeria who is privy to top secret intelligence, actually. For him to step forward and publicly told Nigerians, arm and defend yourselves, tells me a couple of things. One, Nigeria is either becoming a failed state or is already a failed state. Why? Because he said that they don't have enough government manpower to defend you. The military, the police, the DSS, that they don't have enough power to defend their citizens. What is the primary responsibility of any government? Democratic government, to defend the lives and property of the people. So, for the director of DSS to say we don't have what it takes to protect you Nigerians, it means that they are incapacitated. Self-defense is a natural phenomenon. If I were to pinch you now, you will blink unconsciously in defense of yourself. So self-defense is a natural phenomenon. But in the context of the DSS, honestly, I wasn't expecting that we shall come to that level at which the common people are required to arm themselves and defend themselves. But guess what? It has happened. In other words, what it means is you're on your own. If anything happens to you, you have yourself to blame. Now, because self-defense is a natural phenomenon, I have never read about any law, moral law, Christian law, civil law, natural law that is against self-defense. None whatsoever. But you know what? Where you have a good government, you take it for granted that you are protected. And so it's not even a question of whether I support it or not, or whether it is legal or not. And then for the government to say, defend yourself. Now, we are taking self-defense to a higher level. The level of you have to do everything possible to protect your life. Your life is the most precious gift God has given you. Very, very precious. God has given us a precious life to take care of, and we should guard it judiciously.
And cure and eliminate the terrorists, I will welcome it myself. But I know they cannot.
Okay, when you say they cannot, when you say they cannot,
let me tell you. Okay. They have fought 20 years in Afghanistan. They could not finish them. Afghanistan is in Syria now. This same thing. And this terrorists you see, it's not easy to just come and drop bombs here and there and think you finish them. They have infiltrated the society, so it's going to cause more damage. More Muslims and more Christians will be killed if America would drop a bomb in Nigeria. I'm telling you this. You can take it for a record. So what we are trying to avoid, we are going to even compound it. Look, myself, I have been trying to see how we can pacify these people. I've been going to see how we can pacify these people and redirect them, because they are human beings. They listen and reason. But if you say you want to use force against force, then you will compound the problem and make the thing dirty.
What about giving them amnesty and all that?
Yes. You see, just to entice them to leave their weapons. You see, one thing good about it is, you see, you don't treat a disease without diagnosis. If a doctor can diagnose a disease, even if it's cancer, he will know how to manage it. We are talking to them, and they are keeping their weapons. They are not fighting. They're still on the weapons. They hold the weapons. But you see, this is a small, gradual process in which slowly we will civilize them, we'll take away their weapons and let them into good citizens.
Wanda na san TikTok ba za su hana ba. Wannan abun ya bata mai rai, ya ji cewa kai wannan abun in ƴaƴansu ne ba za su dauka su sa cikin wannan abun ba. A bisa yadda yake faɗa min, a lokacin da ya turo min bidiyon da ake sa ma Asadu Sunna waɗannan buhuhuna da jakunkuna irin na banki a cikin mota, a lokacin ya ce bai tunanin Asadu Sunna zai karyata cewa ba kuɗi bane. Ya ce da ya san zai karyata kuɗi ne da ya fito da wannan bidiyon gashi nan da muke faɗa muku. Shi abin da ya ce duk abin da ake a gidan fa ba ɓoye musu shi sanatan yake ba. Ya zata cewa su ma wawaye ne kamar yadda waɗannan ƴan ta'addan suke. Yadda suke recruiting ɗinsu cikin wannan abun, to ya zata su ma wawaye ne. Da su ake komai, bai ɓoye musu komai. To ga kuɗin wanda gashi nan lokacin da suke shirya kuɗaɗen nan. Kamar yadda fashi yake faɗa min, wannan idan za ku tuhume shi to ku tuhumi dan gidan, dan ku ne, wa shahida shahidun min ahliha ne. Daga gidan ne yake bamu wannan. In kuna da gaddama da shi, ku kama shi ku kai shi kotu. Ko da yake abin da nake so in faɗa muku yanzu haka, an kai kusan kwana 5 ba shi ba labarin shi. Wallahi ba shi ba labarin shi, amma ni kun san na faɗa muku muna fito da hujjoji ne daidai bukatuwa. Bayan Asadu Sunna ya fito yayin wannan bidiyon ya karyata cewa ba kuɗi bane, muka samu kuma daga cikin ɗaliban shi wasu sun fito sun ce biredi ne, wasu kuma sun ce wai kayayyakin wasu ne da motar su ta lalace aka ɗauko su aka maida. Baki uku suka yi a lokaci guda. Dama haka ƙarya take. Shi za ku kama ku kai kotu akan waɗannan abubuwan da yake kawo, domin eyewitness ne shi, eyewitness ne. Daga gidan ku yake, a gidan yake kwana, ya fi ma Asadu Sunna kusa da shi sanata Shehu Buba. Ga mutum nan mai bulu kaya da gemu fari a duke, wane ne? Ba na so in ce wane ne dan ka a zo a ce ai ba shi bane, amma shi ya fito ya faɗa mana wane ne. Ya fito ya faɗa mana wane ne. Ga kuma mashina nan an tara a cikin gidan. Mashina dai irin wannan dai mashina na shiga daji masu karfin gaske wanda ake sawa a kai ma 'yan ta'adda. To ga sanan cike da gidan mashina sun kai kusan 1000 guda. To mu dai tambayar da muke yi, waɗannan kuɗi na suwaye? Wannan dai ba mai tantama cewa gidan Shehu Buba ne. Duk wanda ya ga wancan bidiyon, su ma ba su gaddama cewa ba cikin gidan Shehu Buba ne ake loda waɗannan jakunkuna da buhuhuna a cikin mota Asadu Sunna. Ba wanda ya musa cikin su. In ka kalli gidan ka san wannan ka san gidan ne. To da Allah wannan kuɗi na suwaye kuma ina aka kai su? Wannan kuɗi shine
Okay, gentlemen and ladies, I just played those long videos for you and we'll discuss one after the other. The last video you watched is from one of the government facilities in the north, where you have, remember that this Fulani herdsmen go on bikes. And that guy has over 1,000 bikes in his house, and the proceeds of their hard work, you saw it on the ground. And the same people will tell you it is not organized. We don't know anything about it. They sympathize with the ordinary man, but in the behind, they are the ones who are the evil behind what is going on. And I want to put it on record. Anybody who tells you that it's not about land grabbing and Islamization, tell the person is you know, it's not true. That's what it is. It is what it is, you know. And if we don't act now, and you know, let nobody come here and begin to say, well, I don't hate Islam, I don't hate Muslims, but I'm a Christian. I'm not trying to take over their territory. They shouldn't try to take over mine. Remain in your locality. I remain in my own. If you have chosen to be a Muslim, good for you. It suits you. You like it. Okay. I have chosen, not because of accident of birth, but by choice. I chose to be a follower of Christ, and I have no what. I do not have any regrets, and I have no what, you know, to anybody. I answer to nobody. So if you chose to be a Muslim, so also, okay, maintain it, be proud of it, but not now you begin to go around and forcing people and doing all kinds of atrocities because you think that you should take over people's land. That's not how it is. If everybody was going, you know, in that route, then no peace will be anywhere. Finally, let me, you know, there's some people who have been criticizing Wole Soyinka over what is going on, but here is Wole Soyinka's take on these issues.
That idea. You may destroy the people, the carriers of that idea on the battlefield. Yes, this is known. But ultimately, it's not the end of the story. So let's not take this position of, don't even talk it. Under my watch, this will never happen. Don't say things like that. Go into that environment and ask, what is it that we can do to make you content, to make you happy, to make you feel part of this entity. There's no need. These are the advantages of staying. Listen to some other Biafrans and ask them why they want to stay. This is what we are ready to push as the overall governance authority in this area. But don't go around saying the sovereignty of this nation is indivisible, is not negotiable. All that kind of language, for me, it only makes matters worse.
Those kind of language do not help anybody. And I, for one, have always thought, it's just like, you know, when you know, there's a certain issue I used to have with a Catholic. He said the Pope is infallible. I say, how can a human being be infallible? Okay. For some people that works, but for me it wasn't working. So how can you say Nigeria is indivisible? For what reason? The Nigeria that we are also concerned and preaching was put together by not even a black man. Okay, it was put together by somebody who didn't even know. And let me shock you: the person who gave the name Nigeria is even a concubine, not even a real Yawo, a concubine, and we are proud to say we are Nigerians. And it may be in a stupor with Lugard. You just say, what shall we call this area? Let's just call them nigger area. Come on, these are niggers. They are black Negroes. Come on. And that is what we have been saying to ourselves. We are Nigerians. And some people tell you that, it is, come on, wake up, man. And this, let me tell you, someday we'll discuss the the arrangement of the tribes in Nigeria, but not for today. And let me welcome Mr. Next Ungo. How are you doing, sir? You heard my long dialogue, and I have not even started. But let you, come in and say hello, and then give me your initial, thinking.
Thank you, KJ, for having me. I was waiting for this stream to start because I'm on annual leave now. Yeah, wherever I am in diaspora, and all this week I've just been following events in Nigeria, and I have to tell you the truth. I'm happy that all these things are happening, but at the same time, I'm very scared. I don't know what the future holds. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't know what the future holds. And these are really, really troubling times. I'm not one, I have to be very honest. I'm not one that believes in Nigeria at all. I've never believed in it. And I'm happy that, I'm not saying that because before they send DSS come and arrest me wherever I am, because I don't have the energy to go through all this this thing that Nnamdi Kanu is going through. He is a special breed, and I really, really, really admire his courage. I don't support the whole activities of IPOB, but I genuinely understand and relate to where he's coming from. Genuinely in my heart. Some of the activities of IPOB has been hijacked by hoodlums, by hired people from outside the states or outside the Southeast sometimes, I would say. And it's not surprising that this has happened. Now, to begin with, in terms of, because I want to speak about Nnamdi Kanu today. I don't want to try and forget about him as I did the previous times, but also I'm interested with all the activities happening in terms of the US and Nigeria issues in regards to the persecution and genocide of Christians in not just Nigeria, not just northern Nigeria. We tend to make this mistake. It's the whole of Nigeria. People say it's just northern Nigeria. Northern Nigeria faces an existential threat. The whole of Nigerian Christians face an institutional threat. So what I'm going to start with Nnamdi Kanu. After the Civil War, there was no attempt at reconstruction and reconciliation. They claimed no victor, no vanquish. But that's wrong, extremely wrong. The way the Nigerian state has condoned itself since then, up until today, has shown that they have not moved past what has happened after the Civil War. And you can't hold a segment of a population that is very significant, extremely in terms of the number and population and what they signify for the Christian population of Nigeria. You can't hold them and expect to have a peaceful country. It's not possible. Absolutely not possible. So it's always natural for agitations to continue, and it has come to a head. Everything that Nnamdi Kanu predicted was going to happen, everything he said is happening right in our very before, as most Nigerians, Chiefs of Budaya will say. It's happening. There is nothing he has said that was going to happen that is not happening as we speak. That's one. Two, before you charge somebody to, I mean, we know about the extradition from Kenya. I think it just shows how third world the whole of Africa is. Extremely. African countries are not really countries, I have to say. There is no African country that has sovereignty. Absolutely none. There is no African country that has a sovereignty. Absolutely none. And that's why Donald Trump can say, I'm going to come to that now disgraced country, which is extremely true, and say he's going to invade. And I don't want to use that invade because people keep using it. He said he's coming to destroy the terrorists. He has never said he's going to invade. So the extradition of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya was unlawful. And the courts have deemed it so. So there is no argument about that. Now, the second issue is we have to differentiate between legality and morality. I think it's very important for people to differentiate both. And there is nowhere all over the world that you judge people based on morality. You only judge people based on the rule of law, the legality of their crime. And if you cannot tell a particular person that has been charged, a defendant, that this is what I'm charging you for, and it has to be rooted in the Constitution, Then all I have to say is that it's all vibes and cruise. There is no legality. It's not founded in the law. He has the right to know why he's being charged for, and they have to point to a particular part of the Constitution where it says that. And if that part of the Constitution is no longer, it has been amended or completely taken out of the Constitution, then it's useless. It's a waste of time. The second aspect is the politics of it. The Nigerian government is not even smart. The politics of it. And I feel that it's just the chicken that has come home to roost. The chicken has finally come home to roost, and God has heard the cry of all Nigerian Christians. That's just it. So everything they are doing, it's a waste of time. I even feel like Nigeria as a country, as we speak now, I'm not even sure they've got the moral authority. We're talking about morality now. The moral authority to convict him of any crime. And if you've not got the moral authority, then why are you continuing that? It's acting like a pariah state. You've got people having meetings with terrorists in open glare. The whole world is seeing it. And then you are trying to charge somebody for something he said but didn't do. While you find people that are bearing arms, AK-47s, that according to the Nigerian Constitution, according to the Nigerian law on arms, do not have the right to bear those arms. And you are saying you are negotiating with them, people that have been found to have committed murder, atrocities. Isn't that extremely stupid from the Nigerian government to expect that this will go under the rug? It's unbelievable, extremely unbelievable that they expected that those things will be happening while you are charging Nnamdi Kanu and the whole world will not come out and say things about it. It's stupid. It's extremely, extremely dumb. Very, very dumb. These are the characteristics of a failed state. And that will take me to my next step. What is a failed state? A failed state is a state, or a failing state is a state that is unable to protect its citizens, that has loose sovereignty of its geographical space. So when you have segments of the country under the control of non-state actors, that is one of the clear evidence of a failed state. Recently, I Googled, I was just going through what it means to be a failing state. What it means to be a failing state. And I went through all the criteria. Anybody that has got time now can Google and see. If you just Google and see, you will see that they will bring all the characteristics of a failed state. The only one that the Nigerian government is currently meeting up to as we speak is that they are still able to provide revenue, which is coming from oil. I challenge anybody that is listening to us to Google it. All the characteristics of a failed state, this country has met it. So when Donald Trump comes out and say that he doesn't care, he's going to come to that now disgraced country, he's not saying it because he wants to say it. He's saying it because that is how the world perceives us. See, people don't know who Donald Trump is. And I'm going to say it here. This guy, during the first campaign, was it the first campaign? Or, yes, the first campaign. The first tenure around that 2015. There was a documentary that showed how he sits down with people in his press and he dictates to them his Twitter post, his social media post. This guy will tell them point by point what he wants them to say. He will ask them to edit, delete. It takes him out. It can take him 30 minutes to 1 hour before he makes a post. So every word in that post did not come out of somebody that was acting crazy. It was coming out of someone that has got the intelligence and understanding of what is happening in Nigeria at the moment.
I agree.
100%. So
I watched that video, by the way.
You what? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's now that I'm linking everything. When you go to check all the news channels in America, all the non-liberal news channels, I'm talking about the so-called right wing. I don't like calling them right wing. Well, people call them right wing. So what? When you see all the people in government, in the US government, speaking about Nigeria, it's very shocking. It's as if they know exactly what is happening.
Yeah.
They paint the picture for all Nigerians that are ready to speak the truth. They paint the clear picture of what is happening in Nigeria.
You know, Ngo, I'm not cutting it, but let me just butt in a bit. You see, that's why it's shocking. Or rather, I find it interesting. I just laugh when they are trying to manage this, whatever they're going through, and lying to themselves, The same people who outlawed, IPOB as a terrorist organization are now saying that it's IPOB who went to lobby to make Nigeria a country of particular concern. And the question you ask yourself is, so does America, have meetings or lobby? Does America accept IPOB? Those same people you say they are outlaws. How come last night you are saying they are the ones who went to do this? So you find out that at every point there's contradiction in all their nonsense they are talking about. Okay, I have a friend who is somewhere, Frank, who is one of those people who initiated these moves. Okay, and I can call names because they are not hiding their face. They will come out. By the time Emma Gebe here in DC, one of those who initiated this thing long time ago, they've been following this thing. Okay, but now you people, and it's not today they've been warning you people. They've been telling you people these things you are doing is going to have a repercussion. These things you are doing now. Look at the so-called IPOB that got a bad name from the East. Now that Tinubu has refused to pay the money that of all those contractors that are causing the mayhem in the East. Have you heard of the East having any problem now? Since Tinubu's government came, all those things have gone away because no more money. They took money from the federal government. They were financing so-called non-government, all kinds of Biafra this, Biafra that, Biafra this, but now there's no more money to pay them. Please check. Have you been seeing any of those videos any longer? And a government that will lie to itself. Okay, you will look. I don't even know where to start, but I thank God that most of the people who come to the channel have been hearing this thing, not today. The man who is in charge of the preacher spokesman gathered the news men, journalists.
I saw it.
And was lecturing them on how to report. Yeah? And all of them sat there. Some are even clapping hands for him. What
KJ, let me tell you, I was watching a video today. TruthNigeria.com.
Yes, Truth Nigeria.
In America, they gathered all the media channel in America. And one of the ladies from TruthNigerian.com, it's a white lady, it's an American. When she started painting the picture of what's happening in Nigeria.
I saw that video. I was trying to download it. I don't know how to get it.
She said the Nigerian media is one of the laziest and most corrupt media in the world.
Yeah.
They are extremely lazy. I'm talking about, all the news channels. All the media channels in Nigeria are corrupt. All. There is no one single media channel in Nigeria that is not corrupt. I'm telling you, call me one. There's no one. I don't want to talk about NTA because NTA is not a news channel.
No, NTA is gone and gone. It don't go.
Nobody watches it. It's a relic of the past.
Let me tell you, in a journalism school, one of the things I find very interesting, and I kept asking that question, and then as a student, they keep shutting me down. I said, why do you want us to report news? Other countries report news. You say we should write. No, in Nigeria we do developmental news. You don't talk about the bad things. You only talk about what government is doing. And I say, how can we be talking on what government is doing, for crying out loud? Okay, so you ignore any other thing. Okay, people are there. You look at when that you know, there was a time there was riot in Lagos when the armored of the army went off. Okay, bomb blast everywhere. The NTA didn't catch that thing. When people were dying in Lagos, NTA was busy playing us cultural dances and everything. What a shame, you know. So what even moved Nigeria a little bit to even having an idea of what news was people like Delegiwa. And at the end of Delegiwa's life, every other thing went back to where it used to be, you know. It went back to where it used to be. The people who even work with Delegiwa couldn't even come out to say, oh, this is what this man stands for. All of them denied they didn't know the report Delegiwa was writing to keep their own life. Of course, they are alive today, and they are, you know, basking strong in whatever they've been given. But the truth remains that Nigerian media space have been destroyed. That's the truth. Let nobody deceive anybody.
See, KJ, I don't know how to express the way I see Nigeria. I'm looking for. I think Nigeria is. I'm saying this with a heavy heart, with someone that grew up as a child with the image of Nigeria as something. But as I begin to get understanding, it's kind of like Nigeria is not a country. It is just the way Chino Achebe says, it's just a mere geographical expression. Nigeria has never been a country. And I'm surprised that Nigeria has lasted till this long.
Because they keep patching it. They are patching it. They are patching, you know.
It is a country that is built on lies. Lies, propaganda, and lies, and lies, and lies.
I agree.
Nigeria is corrupt to the core. Extremely corrupt. There is no justice. There is no fairness. There's nothing. And we've been doing this thing right from when we got our so-called independence, because we have never been independent. Till today, Nigeria, we've been patching it up. From 1999 till date, it's been the same thing. Extremely, extremely, extremely corrupt. Nigeria is not a country. And even though I'm not happy that I may not have a country anymore, because the way I see it, I don't think it's going to survive. It's on its last breath. It's literally gasping. Nigeria is gasping. And even if America does not invade, it will take a lot of docility from the non-Hausa Fulani components of Nigeria for Nigeria to recover from this. It's like everybody was waiting for Donald Trump's tweet to wake everybody up. The politicians are running helter-skelter.
Yes.
They are trying to manage the situation. I have never seen a so-called sovereign state do a poor job of managing a situation. It's like God has caught them. With every press release, they continue to expose themselves. With every propaganda, they continue to. It's a shame. It's a total disaster. The federal government went and released a post and said Nigeria is made up of 53% Muslims and 43% Christians, made up of some useless figures. If Nigeria is made of 43% Christians, why before independence in 1959, Nigerian population, as at population census, made up of 60% Christians and 34% Muslims with non-affiliated 6% or so. I'm not sure of the real data, but it's around that figure. How is it that the population has so-called reversed over the years?
Mm-hmm.
Where you have in a region that is mostly Muslims, where you have poverty,
mm-hmm.
you have child mortality, you have maternal mortality,
mm-hmm.
you have malnutrition,
mm-hmm.
you have very, very poor HDI values,
Mm-hmm.
with serious conflicts and war. And you're saying that population has kept growing, and Nigeria is a lie.
You see, let me.
Propaganda.
There was a man called Mr. Ojukwu, who was National Population Commission chairman. When he saw the report, the documents of how they manipulated even the first census, the man was shouting. Okay, he was shouting. The northern elements organized themselves and went to Jonathan and insisted that he removes Mr. Ojukwu from that National Population Commission. Mr. Ojukwu was removed. Now, what did he discover? All the census so far have all been lies. They're all documents that don't have any right this thing. It's only in Nigeria that I know while they're doing census, you remove religion, you remove religion and and language, that tribe. Okay, because when those things are there, we know that really Nigeria is not made up of 50-50. I worked in that area. Okay, the only place you find as in the north that is well populated,
Kaduna.
Yes, and that's the major towns. Once you cross there, the rest of people are not what it is. But that's not a major topic.
Before you even say it, no, I need to make this point because that was important to me. I don't like lies. I grew up in the north. You understand, right? I was born in the north. There's anybody that is going around peddling lies is just wasting his time. I grew up. There's nothing that anybody can tell me about the north. I'm telling you the truth. See, I grew up there. I went to university there. I know that place. The first time I left my geographical space in Kaduna there to travel up north was when I went to Katsina. I went to Katsina then to do a project with somebody that works in the federal government. We're doing this primary school data collection for the federal government. I was assisting. They were just fabricating results and trying to force to bribe that person that I went with. They were fabricating results. You will move from one town to the other. You will not see human beings. They will say, we will move through. Let me give you, for instance, I'm going to tell you, we move through a local government. I don't know what the name of that local government. Like in Katsina, manufacturing is populated. Yes, because I did some postings there as a medical student, and Funtua is populated. But beyond there, and Katsina main town, every other place is underpopulated.
Yeah.
Or maybe Daura. You go to GBI, they say GBI is a local government. There's nobody there.
Look.
Or Batagarawa. There's nobody there.
I did a lot of work in those areas. I work with an organization that used to provide boreholes in the north. So there's virtually no local government. Like I said, it's only Meduguri that I never went to work. There's virtually no other states in the north that I have not spent at least, if I didn't spend long, 6 months. Okay, in different localities, building and water well for them borehole because they didn't have. Okay, and so when people come and they are talking, I don't, like I said, I don't want to.
In general, no. I mean, I have, because this is on my mind. I'm sorry. I know that Tunanja is here and is ready to make his contribution, and I'll just round up so that he can make his contribution. But you see, you cannot build a country like Nigeria on a foundation of lies. The only way you can do it is if you kill every other tribe. And then you can now tell the next generation any story you want to tell. But as we speak today, it's not possible now. And that's why we're making all these programs, so that if today Nigeria is over, the whole world will know our stories and our history.
I agree.
I grew up in I need to make this point. I grew up in the North. When they say there's genocide of Christians and people come out and say no, it breaks my heart. I know this thing for a fact. For God's sake, the population of Christians in the North has progressively shrinked, and they've progressively pushed them to a small space. Both systematic and physical annihilation. It's very heartbreaking. And every time there was crisis in the North, it's always them that started it. I'm not an apologist. See, I'm not a very religious person. But if I tell you the stories, my story, from Zango Katav 93, how we escaped, to Sharia 2000, to Miswa 2001, to the Denmark cartoon crisis in 2003 also. Those are the ones that I'm very aware of. It's always been a systematic genocide. And then to what's happening in Southern Kaduna, it's been going on since the early 2000s, as far as I can remember. There has never been justice. And then now you have a Fulani terrorist invasion of the country. They are coming in like a virus, infecting the whole land, killing people. TruthNigerian.com said they gave the Nigerian security government services warning 3 weeks before this massacre of Yelwata.
Yeah.
Of Yelwata. 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then on the day of the attack, they called them and told them that these people are on the way. And the military station there was no more than 1 kilometer away.
Yeah.
These people came, operated for 5 hours, killed 200 and something people, your citizens, and left. Tell me if this is not a failed state.
Let me.
Nigeria is a failed state.
Yeah, going back to Yawata, a friend of mine was killed in Kuje. He just finished. He's an NDA officer. He was finished working and was driving back to his house. It was his personal house, which he built around the prisons, if you know Abuja very well, in Kuje.
Yes.
Now, just immediately after a military checkpoint, the header struck the terrorists, shoot him sporadically, shot his car. I mean, they riddled him with bullets. Okay, and other people, because he has a SUV. They probably thought, I don't know, some people say maybe they thought he was a policeman or a soldier man or something. But what am I saying? From that point, the other people who, in fact, I don't want to go to it, but you see that location where that thing is, from the forest in that place, you can actually enter that forest and you see yourself in Taraba. Okay, and the security, men, those I spoke to, because said they've always been telling these people like this place you leave open like this, but there are soldiers. Those soldiers never lifted a hand. In fact, they didn't even bother themselves to even say we are hearing guns. Even after the guns ended, they left that guy in his car. Now, good Samaritan went on the pass, carry that guy go hospital. Okay. What about the rest? The rest now history, because there is nobody. Eventually he died in the hospital. So what am I saying here? I'm simply saying that nobody builds a nation and succeeds in this order in which we are going. Injustice, all kinds of lopsidedness in the development, and even the government is not concerned about the people. And I wonder how we intend to build the nation. How long shall we continue to build castles in the air? But let me let True Nigeria welcome. True Nigeria, one brain cell, you're welcome. Today we are dealing with the issue of the Nnamdi Kanu's case, which is coming out tomorrow. Justice Omotosho have said that by tomorrow, if he does not come up with defense, he will foreclose the case. The question now be, is it wrong to ask that you be shown in the penal code the offense for which you are being charged?
Well, There's nothing wrong with that, but I would doubt that he's been charged for, at least since he was brought back from Kenya, the rendition, and he hasn't had a charging sheet. So I don't think, at least I've seen a copy of it, of what he's being charged with. And numerous times we've heard Nigerian court officials mention his charges. So when he says he wants it to see it in the penal code, me personally, I'm confused, because I'm like, what else do you want to see? They're charging you apparently under terrorism laws, right? Or is he trying to tell us that he's just there and there's never been a charge presented to him, no papers, his lawyers never told him there's a charge? Or is he saying the charge, the crime which he's being charged with, does not exist in the law? If that's what he's saying, again, I still am confused, because when I heard that, I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Okay, let me
going on, like, I don't understand what he's saying, basically.
You want me to help you? You want me to put in the thing? Because it's there.
I don't think I need help, but you can go ahead, and then we can, if you want, no. You can say what you want to say, and then we can move on from there.
Okay.
There's no problem. Mm-hmm.
The case has traveled to the Supreme Court. The appeal court struck it out, saying those things didn't have any validity. Anyway, after 1 year, the federal government appealed, went to Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said, and I have it somewhere. I can show you. You can. I mean, I don't have to even show you. You can look it up. The Supreme Court said these laws are not valid. He said to the prosecuting counsel, go and change this law or amend it. It does not exist in Nigerian law. It is a Supreme Court speaking. It's not me. It's not Nnamdi Kanu. That is why Nnamdi Kanu is saying, okay, you are picking and choosing what you want. If you are saying that Supreme Court said you should bring me back to this court, okay, what about the changing of the law, the charge, which does not exist? So what is the new charge I'm being charged for? So are you saying that if you went to court and you have a prosecuting lawyer prosecuting you, and you say, what is my charge? The lawyer is not obligated to read it to you?
Which is actually who I felt he should have directed this question to.
He did.
Hold on, KJ. KJ, is it okay if I speak?
No,
is it okay if I speak?
I don't want.
We don't have to be.
Listen,
I listened. I just listened to you, and you made a statement.
I don't want you to assume these things are there. It's black and white.
Again, KJ, KJ.
Put the question to the prosecuting counsel.
All right. So again, this is how we're going to have a beneficial conversation. I'll tell you right now. You have to try to listen to me, okay? And you have to try not to be so overly emotional about the case. Now, I understand you are sentimentally invested in it, and I'm empathetic.
From place of
KJ, let me land.
Okay.
So you're overly emotional and you're sentimentally attached to it, and I'm empathetic to that level, which is why I'm going to let you. I'm willing to listen to you, but I'll also appreciate what you don't want me to listen to you.
Listen, the person who is at DSS dungeon said that nobody.
KJ,
hold on.
Let me land.
Sympathize. It's not a sympathy thing.
No, I said empathetic to KJ. It's okay to listen to me. I didn't say I'm sympathizing with Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay.
I said again. I said because I know that you are emotionally invested. I'm going to speak slow because I know that you're emotionally invested in it. And I know you have a sentimental attachment to the whole situation, the case. I am empathetic to that regard, to that level, which is why I am willing to engage in the conversation. Do you understand me now? So I didn't say I have sympathy for Nnamdi. So it's okay. Let me land, and then you speak and I speak, and we can have a better. You weren't mad at your boy when he was speaking for over 40 minutes. You weren't mad. You didn't interrupt him. You guys had a beautiful conversation. So again, this is what I'm saying. This is why I said I was confused, because normally when you have an issue with the charges, outside of filing a motion, if you think, for example, certain documentation is missing, maybe the discovery papers, right? Maybe evidence is being withheld. Usually your attorney will talk to the prosecuting attorney before you go to the judge. And you ask him first, and then because you don't want to inundate the court or bog it down, right? On things you guys can actually settle with a discussion. So that is why I said I was surprised he's asking the judge to tell him the charges. And this is why I also said I'm not sure that they will charge him without telling him what his offense is. Now, if you say in the Supreme Court ruling that the judge, they threw out the charge and amended it and said the charge did not exist, to that extent, I cannot say that, because I did read the ruling myself. I read it and we've discussed it over and over and over here. That is not what I saw. What I saw was the Supreme Court saying the case should go back to the federal high court. They also ruled on his extraordinary rendition. And they ruled that because of a defendant basically, even in Nigeria, does not have redress, cannot seek redress regardless of the manner which it was brought before the court. But he can seek civil compensation, meaning he cannot say, throw out my case because I was, quote unquote, kidnapped by government forces and dragged before your honor, or my lord, as they say in Nigeria. But you can say, well, you violated my rights and I want monetary compensation. So they can seek redress, but you cannot seek that the case be thrown out and the trial be tossed out and the case be concluded at that juncture. And which is what the Supreme Court, to the best of my understanding, and which I've read over and over and over again, even after we've spoken here, the Supreme Court did say, take it back. They remanded the case back to the federal high court and the case for trial to continue. And this is where they're at right now. So if you say that they said the law does not exist, you said you want to show it to me, I will gladly accept it and I'll gladly read it over so we can be on the same page.
Okay, here's what I will say to you. First and foremost, this case didn't start yesterday. The case has been on for a while. Nnamdi Kanu have won many cases, which you never quote here. You never accept those ones. The United Nations arbitrary committee intervened. The United Nations has written 3 letters asking Nigeria to dismiss and acquit him and release him and pay compensation. They have refused to honor that letter. That is 3 of them, 3 different times, and I can fix them out. And the ECOWAS Court of Justice have awarded him the same thing. I have told Nigeria to desist from this and release him. They didn't do that. The Nigerian courts, 3 different courts, have awarded, different costs against the federal government. They didn't still release him. They've not paid those costs. The appeal court threw out the case, discharged and acquitted him. For after 1 year, the federal government took him back to court without releasing him. In the first place, you cannot apply stay of execution when it has to do with somebody's fundamental rights. You can't apply stay of execution. It is not done anywhere. That is why there's so many different things, depending on who you talk to, because the issues of Igbos...
KJ, you actually can.
Hold on. They are always very they are always very much concerned. They are concerned doesn't mean that they want to see the way it is and deal with it. No, they want to be emotional about it, or they want to say because an Igbo man, his own case has to be different. So in this case now, you have decided to follow what the Supreme Court said to you. You have read what the Supreme Court said, where you have nicely cut off the one they said concerning Nnamdi Kanu and what happened in his house. Those of you who don't want to quote that still say, when they are writing their news, they still say he jumped bail. The Supreme Court said he never jumped bail. That nobody, it's only a tree that can stand where they're coming to cut it and it will not move. So they indicted the army and the federal government on that. You didn't talk about that. And they said in that same ruling, they said the case for the charge which you brought, which is a terrorism act, is no longer in status. It has been removed, it has been changed, updated. And so what you are charging him does not exist in law. Go and look at it. If you don't even need to look at it, you can just Google it, and Google will give you all these things. You don't even need to go look for the paper. It does not exist in law. So the Supreme Court told even though many judges, many lawyers will tell you it is wrong, because when the case gets to the Supreme Court, you don't expect all this reversal. Since you said the cancellation of his bail was wrong, you should have corrected it. Don't say go back to the lower court and go get a bail. Since you said it was wrong, you should have cancelled it out and reinstate his bail. You don't say go back to the lower court. You went back to the lower court. The lower court held you again for 1 year before they found a lawyer, a judge who will now judge the case. And then eventually started all over again. But those charges were not changed. They were not changed. Okay? Which is now somebody in the comment section were writing it was wrong for Nnamdi Kanu to have taken over. No, it's not wrong, because if I was the same person in Nnamdi Kanu's shoes, I would still take over. Because if I have a bunch of 16 lawyers who couldn't be able to identify the difference in dates, okay, how am I sure they will represent me very well? And I don't mean to remove any of their feathers. All of them are lawyers of their status. But I'm saying that was a grievous mistake that any lawyer shouldn't look at, because as an editor, if you are editing, the first thing you look at is the things that matter, the date for which the medical report was written. Why should you be in a hurry to accept it to evidence? The date for which it was written, and then why will a government agency be forging a letter? Why? So the question be, and I see concern and welcome. The question be to you is, what is the degree of the crime that Nnamdi Kanu have committed that all this is admitted to him? You know that last week he was beaten inside the cell, okay, by DSS officials, okay. Yesterday, I have the video here. Maxwell, his lawyer, is saying that they refused to allow them to even give him the document that he needs to defend himself, or to leave the cell and go and do affidavits that he's going to use for tomorrow's case. Okay, is that how you treat other people who are? He's not even a criminal yet. He's an accused. You don't come here and say, why is he still remaining in DSS dungeon for 5 years? Is that where they put prisoners? When they are charged and you are supposed to be detained, remanded in this thing, it's not remanded in prison. Is it remanded in DSS dungeon? Let us call it spade. You are the one who is bringing emotion to this thing. Okay, remove the emotion and see the fact for what it is. Yeah.
All right. Is it okay if I speak? So
remove the bias. We know that there are people well not in Nigeria, but it's okay. Remove and speak to the facts.
All right. Okay. So I'm just going to touch upon some of the things you said. First, the United Nations rulings or a foreign body's ruling has no bearing on the Nigerian judicial process. Okay, please stop throwing. Please, can you please stop throwing me off?
Hold on, I'll just answer that. I'll leave you to speak. When you sign a treaty, it is binding on you. That is what.
No, again, KJ, please. I didn't go to school to start. Okay. Anyway, all right. Listen. If you have to go to school for that. So, in a foreign body's ruling on a Nigerian case has no bearing, meaning they can take it into consideration, but what they cannot do is have it as authority. It is not binding on the Nigerian court. So whatever ruling Kenya does, or even next door Benin Republic, whatever ruling they make on even a similar case, it is not binding on the Nigerian law. The Nigerian judge does not have to obey. So saying Kenya said this or the United Nations said that, it has no authority. He's under Nigerian jurisdiction, he's under federal law, and he's under the federal constitution of Nigeria. That said, I think you also have to be mindful of certain things you say. You keep saying, well, why didn't you talk about this? And why didn't you talk about this? And this happened to Kanu, and why didn't you talk about it? I can only speak on the topic at hand. I know a lot of y'all on here like to just go all over the place when you're discussing, but I can only speak directly on what we're discussing. Now, if you say Kanu's case, it should have not been sent back to the High Court, I don't know how you think that's possible. The only reason the judge sent it back to the High Court, I keep conflating high and district court because I have to think of Nigerian and American courts. So if you say they sent it back to the Nigerian High Court, it was because part of what he sought was affirmed in part, and then part of what he sought was denied in part. It's there. You see it in the ruling. I understand maybe you might not understand the legalese behind it, but it's there. Most of it is just, and it wasn't even a long ruling. I think it was only like, 2 or 3 pages, right? So you're saying now that what did he do? KJ, I mean, no matter what I say on this with you right now, it's like we're gonna bump heads and go into conflict. But the bottom line is, listen, as a neutral spectator, as someone that has no dog in the fight, okay, I have none in the fight. I can only go based on what is presented to us by the court, what is presented to us by the government. And as it stands now, the government is charging him on the terrorism charges. If you're saying that does not exist, I guess that's your opinion. There's nothing else I can do aside from looking at the facts on the ground, and that's all I can go by. You know, so but saying, oh, why didn't you speak about this? If you want me to speak about something, I'll gladly speak about it if you present it to me. But what I will not do is just be all over the place and then, you know, we're just not talking about nothing.
Okay. Thank you so much. Mr. Concern, you are welcome.
Good evening, Dr. KJ.
Good evening, sir.
We thank
the Lord.
Yeah, God is good. God is great.
All the time.
You see, I came this night to chat here, you know, but when I see this two Niger cell, that's when my mind is starting to go, because I don't know what is his interest in the two Niger in this Nnamdi Kanu case. I don't know what they hate about that man. What if you ask this man, what did Nnamdi Kanu do? Or what is wrong with them? He cannot, I don't know, he can't even answer it. Just if somebody say, I don't want to be with you. I don't want to be with you. What is your problem? What can't you say, okay, go, you people go yourself, go. Since you people are clever, since you people knows everything. These Fulanis are useless, nonsense head they have. Nonsense head. Nothing they bring to Nigeria. What they bring to Nigeria is terrorism. Since I know Fulani, it's terrorism they bring to Nigeria. Nothing at all. Nothing. All their emirs, all their billionaires, where did they make their money? None of them work for that money. None of them work. That nothing. That's what I'm confused. If people are not ashamed of themselves, everything they do is killing. Bye. They can't organize themselves. Nothing. People coming from Chad, visitors that came to Nigeria, they come to Nigeria to destroy Nigeria. What is wrong with you people? Why people don't have brain? Anywhere you people go, Chad is a problem. Niger is a problem. Mali is a problem. And Mozambique is a problem. In Central African Republic is a problem. Anywhere you people are, why can't you protect yourselves? Is it how people behave? Nothing. Nothing these people know. All their emirs they don't work anything. They only depend on government. Some of their workers both in Kanu, both in Gongola, all those places, they don't go to work. They go to work once or twice in a week or in a month. At the end of the month, they come to collect salary. Money they don't work for. Other people, the people who work in this country, they don't go out to look for money. They can't go out outside the country to look for money. They only stay in their desert to look for people who to kill. America should not come. America should not come to help. But today themselves, when Buhari opened the door for this Janjaweed, they were happy. When Buhari opened the door for these terrorists, they were happy. All their emirs, all their nonsense, they never said anything. They never said, no, this is bad. They never said it's bad, but they were happy. Now America want to come and say, well, no, America should not come. Look at the way they are just, and they're happy. America should not come. America should not come. America should not come because they want to liberate the Christians. Now they're not happy about it because this is where they get money. This is where they eat from. If anybody in this life in Nigeria, even all these Yorubas, all these people who are supporting this nonsense, all these their pastors, Ayodele and nonsense of them, if they believe that, if they think that this terrorism will stop, it can never. One, it will not stop because this is their business now. They're taking it as their business. So it will not stop. They have terrorists are holding some villages and everything, collecting tax. It will not stop. Their emirs, all of them, this is their business. They hope these children, when you want to kill them, they say, you must not kill them. This is our children. Your children are criminals. Your children are terrorists. That's what you want us to be in the same country. I've said it many times. I don't like Fulanis, and I would don't want to be with them. I would not, even the only people that go to Kaduna, go to all these places, I will never go there. I will not. Even if it's the only place I will not. On this Nnamdi Kanu, I'm very surprised about what the Yorubas are doing, honestly speaking. Even if the Fulanis are pushing you people to jail Nnamdi Kanu, kill him, do this. Remember, time will come. Even if we didn't separate, even if that country is not disintegrated, one day that power will change. The only thing in this life that is constant is change. That's the only thing in this life. It must happen one day. It must. Whether Nnamdi Kanu and whatever happen, if they do anything wrong to Nnamdi Kanu, even if it take Igbos 1 million years, we must revenge. Because I don't see the reason why Tinubu is the president, Supreme Chief of Staff, Chief Justice Yoruba, prosecutors are Yoruba, the judge joining this case is Yoruba, everything is Yoruba. Still, they still keep this guy in there. But they're not even ashamed of themselves that Igboho was caught with gun. But nothing is, they're not prosecuting Igboho. The only boy they can prosecute is Nnamdi Kanu. With our Igbo useless people in the Senate and in the House. That's what they're doing. They think that, let me tell you people, any Igbo man you see in that APC is a criminal. Any Igbo man you see in that Senate, in that House of Representatives, mostly House of Representatives, is a criminal. Mostly APC. Any Igbo man you see in APC, look at their history. Check all the whole Igbos in that APC. Check their history. All of them are big criminals. Governor of Imo State, Odus Okalo, all of them, all those Igbos there that are that APC, they're all big criminals. So whatever they're doing with these Igbos, they not represent us, and they've never represent us. And I believe that one day things will change. These things that today I'm calling with one Yoruba guy. All these things these people are doing, thinking they're favoring the outsiders and taking. One day the table will turn. It is how these Fulanis that are protecting today. If you know this, their pastors, all this, these Fulanis will turn against them. They will destroy them. Because that thing you think that you are defending, you know you are defending evil. You think what evil you are defending is good. Shoyinka cannot talk now. Falana yesterday he was talking about Trump don't have statistics. Don't Falana have statistics? Where is the statistic for Falana? For Falana? Where is that statistics Falana have? Everybody can see. I want to ask. Let anybody point me in one village in that place where there are Muslims and where the Muslims were massacred in the north. In which village were there Muslims and they were massacred? All the massacre is in Nigeria is Christians. In Benue is Christians. Even in Nasarawa is Christians. No village that have been massacred that is what they call it, Muslim village. All those displaced are Christians. So what are we talking about? Tinubu himself went to America said that the Christians have been killed. The other name also, the other one also, the chief of staff, what is that? The one is army security chief for what? National security advisor. He went to the Americans asking them to come and help them in Nigeria. So what are we talking about? All these things, the people, I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed, honestly speaking. These people that open their mouth today say there's no massacre of the Christians, there's no this, and then whatever they're doing, as they're doing this, they're shooting themselves on the leg. Because they think that Americans are stupid. America has all the statistics. They have it. They have it. It's with them there. So what is this? Not even from television. They have the statistics. They have their same. They have their ambassadors. Not only the ambassadors. These people going to complain to them every time. They have it. They have the mass burials. All this. They have it. America is not the people you like those idiots in Nigeria that you can go and give bribe and they come and say this doesn't happen. Christians are even condemning themselves because of money. Ask one Yoruba man today. Ask one Yoruba man today. Say, this people are covering. What benefit are people going to bring from this Tinubu? Tinubu one is a drug dealer. Tinubu is not the name. Is what is destroying Nigeria today. That name Tinubu. The one people don't know where it's coming from. You people don't know the father. You people don't know the mother. Even before the election, you people don't know. Before the election, Yorubas, 80% of Yorubas were not supporting Tinubu. Because Tinubu came today, start giving them appointments, That's why they turn around to support Tinubu. That is laziness. That is wickedness. That is people who are evil.
Okay,
you are eating blood. People's blood give you nonsense appointments. Because you cannot work.
All right. Thank you, Concern. I know that's your initial comment, so let me stop you. But now let's go back to just Nnamdi Kanu's issue. The judge have said he has given him a last warning to enter his defense. I'm coming to you next. Why is it so necessary to give him, to insist that he defends himself without telling him on which basis they are charging him? Because if a policeman stops you where I live and he wants to book you in, he will tell you you are being this thing, this is under this so they're charging you. Even if they are giving you, if they are writing citation, they'll still write the citation based on the law which they are charging you for. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Now, you go to court and you say, my lord, I don't understand what I'm being charged for. Can you please read out what I'm being charged for? Is that out of place? Is it something that cannot be told him? What's wrong with that? Knowing that the Nigerian Constitution, and I read that part that says that nobody can be charged for an offense that does not exist.
KJ, I mean, what we spoke about earlier, we spoke about the threat. Sorry, we spoke about the failing nature of the Nigerian state and the fact that the Nigerian state is failing. Again, if you go back to that discussion about the failed state, one of the things is that justice is no longer there anymore. People cannot find justice, or justice is bought, or there's an unequal level of justice. That's one of the important characteristics of a failed or a failing state. Justice, I'm not sure, is under pressure by the powers that be. And in my opinion, my feeling is that people underestimate the hold that the Hausa Fulani hegemony has on the Nigerian state. People really, really underestimate it. They don't know how strong that hold is. All the people in the south, the Nigerian state.
Yes, you are right. You are right, my brother. You are very, very right. They don't know.
The Nigerian state is captured. And that's why, that's why you can see somebody banding AK-47 and Nnamdi Kanu is still in jail now. That's how Shegumi can be doing meetings with terrorists and talking about the Nigerian state is captured. And Justice Omotosho is just following a dance, allegedly, in my own opinion. The way I see it, based on so that somebody will not come and sue me. I told you before, I don't have energy to fight any legal battles. And I know that all these YouTube will be available on the web. But in my opinion, I think he is under pressure. The way I see it, I'm not basing that on any facts, but I'm just telling you on the characteristics of Nigeria as a whole. I think he's under pressure by the powers that be. What people don't understand is that there is a plan and an urgent need to conquer Nigeria. It's when you see the plan, it's urgent. You see how the attack is coming in droves on a daily basis. It's an urgent need to capture Nigeria. You are integrating Boko Haram to the Nigerian army. Shegumi's son is now a lieutenant in the Nigerian army. A lieutenant in the Nigerian army, the child of a known extremist. This guy has the potential to become a chief of defense staff of the whole Nigeria that claims to be a secular state. In this country called Nigeria, people killed and burnt Deborah in Sokoto, and they are walking free. And let me blow your mind. Nobody came out and fought for Deborah to get justice. And people are saying that the Nigerian state is a fierce and equal state. How do you expect Nnamdi Kanu to get justice? He can't get justice in this kind of situation. When people are able to take law into their hands and kill other people. Evangelist Eunice was beheaded in Kubwa, Abuja, the nation's capital, for preaching the gospel. She was beheaded in Abuja here, in Kubwa, there in Abuja there. And you are saying, and nobody was charged. And you are saying you expect this person to get justice? Nnamdi Kanu to get justice? Sunday in Taraba defended himself against a headsman, and he's been sentenced to death by hanging. If all these things that are happening, do not tell you that the Nigerian state is captured and you are expecting Nnamdi Kanu to get justice, you are wasting your time. Nnamdi Kanu cannot get justice. The only way Nnamdi Kanu can come out of that cell, captivity, is by two ways. Either they charge him and Tinubu pardon him from a political point of view, or he gets pressure. Tinubu gets pressure, serious pressure from international communities, countries like USA, to release him. Otherwise, Nnamdi Kanu cannot get justice. That's just the way I see it. Nigerian state is captured. This current Fulani infestation that people are seeing has been ongoing on for a long time. Now that they've captured the Nigeria, see, why do you think Buhari was desperate to become the president of Nigeria? This guy started contesting to become president of Nigeria since 2003. He was very emotional. Each time he lost, there was violence, and he never came out to condemn the violence. In the north, there was violence in 2003, in 2007, in 2011, until Tinubu connived with him, and they went to Obama And they were able to get rid of Goodluck Jonathan. What those people did to win that 2014 election is what will finally break up Nigeria. They thought at that time that they were trying to see what they did. The facts are there. They imported terrorists from Chad, from Central African Republic, from everywhere. When you look at these people, do you think some of them look like Nigerians? We have lived in Nigeria for many years. I know most of you are older than me, far older than me. Some of these people you are seeing online, do you think they look like Nigerians? The kind of atrocities these people are doing. They are ripping pregnant women, fetuses out of pregnant women and killing them. I didn't hear about that until these people invaded Nigeria. Recently, I was watching a video of a man that was confessing. He was caught in Benue on how they took him to Chad and then to Niger. And they told him that they want him to be their main point to cause insecurity in Taraba State. That they had 4 states that they are trying to destabilize and take over. Just Plateau, Taraba, Benue, and Nasarawa states. And unfortunately, you are muted. I think you are muted. And those were the 4 states around the North Central area, that are predominantly Christians. And then when you add the other states, so that nobody is free. Those people, there was a plan. They said he was saying it to them that they've asked them to go in and cause. He was bargaining with them. He told them 1 billion naira. They now said no, they'll give him 50 million. They now said no, 750. They now say 350. He now say he doesn't want the money. And this guy was caught and arrested. But we've not heard him pointing fingers at the people that were trying to get him to commit those atrocities. There were no arrests. There is nothing. Isn't that a failed state? How do you expect Nnamdi Kanu to get justice? It's not possible. So let's talk about the law part of this whole thing. I think you are muted. The law aspect of this whole thing.
Yes.
Talking about the law aspect of this whole thing. The law aspect of this whole thing is that law that they are using to charge Nnamdi Kanu, that law has been repealed.
That's what I'm saying.
That law has been repealed. So
how
can you charge somebody based on a law that has been repealed? And you say, just make your defense. Why are they in a hurry to charge him and to convict him? Why are they in a hurry? Then the other thing that we have to look at, when you look at the legal part, I don't want to join wars with 2 brain cells, because I know when his time comes, he's going to refute what I have said, which is in his right to refute them. But when you look at the other part, is the moral aspect that I have just explained. The lack of equivalence in justice. Nobody is looking at that. The Nigerian state has no moral right to charge Nnamdi to court based on everything that is happening in Nigeria. They have no moral rights. And that's why when you say we are a sovereign state, you are not a sovereign state. How can you say you are a sovereign state when a president in the US can just come and say you are now a disgraced country, when you have parts of your country that is under you're not a sovereign state, when people cannot get justice? I don't know what to say. I'm just waiting for this contraption to just completely end. This contraption has to end. The only way Nigerian can move forward. I was watching Omoye's YouTube program yesterday. She said the seed has to die for a new one to germinate. And I hope when the new one germinates, it's going to come out with different branches so that everybody can go his way. This is not possible. Nigeria cannot work. Anything those people in the north are doing, North are doing, it cannot work. And if Donald Trump refused to do anything about what is happening, it means he has completely signed the complete extermination of the Christians in the Middle Belt. They will all die gradually. It will, in the next 20, 30 years, you'll find that the governor of Plateau, the governors of Taraba, the governors of Benue will start becoming Muslims. It's going to happen. This is how they take over. This is an Usman Danfodio campaign. And that's where I will try to end my rant.
Thank you so much. Yes, two Niger, one brain cell. Yeah, I'm waiting for you. You are muted, sir.
Yeah, you keep muting me.
Yeah, because vibrating. Go ahead.
Yeah, but can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. So to the guy that came earlier before Nogu, he said everybody is Yoruba. Not you, Nogu, the guy that spoke before you. He said everybody was Yoruba, and why is basically the case taking so long? And Nogu also said, why are they in a hurry to convict him? Now, which is it? Like, what do you guys want? You want a speedy trial, or you want things to slow down? Because if one person is complaining about the fact that the case is taking so long, and then the other person is saying, well, they're in a hurry to convict him. You have to also remember, as this case proceeded, Nnamdi Kanu, of course, let's start from here. The Nigerian prosecution, the government's prosecution, like I've always stated on here, I've stated this numerous times, people watching or listening can bear me witness, that the prosecution of the case has been appalling. It has been dismal. There's no denying that. But also, in saying that, we also have to agree that Nnamdi Kanu himself has also been employing a bunch of delay tactics as this case went on. Dramatics in the court, filing cases outside the jurisdiction of the course of the court, going over the case, asking judges to recuse themselves, refusing to speak in court, disrupting. I mean, it's just, this whole case itself has just been in shambles, except someone that wants to deny it. It's just been a bunch of shenanigans on the defense's part and on the prosecution's part. A judge, at least one judge, recused herself. Another judge, on Nnamdi Kanu's request, another judge refused to take the case. Now we have Justice Omotosho right now, whom the case is in front of. I want to ask you guys, what do you want? And I think it's a question you guys really need to ask yourselves. What do you really, really want? Do you really want justice? Do you want law and order? Or do you just want a favorable decision just based on whoever your sentiments lie towards? Because if you're saying, for example, that, and of course I do agree with this, that bandits and terrorists from the north should be charged, should be arrested, charged, prosecuted, and obviously you would love them to be sentenced. And I don't think you will deny that they have carried out terroristic actions. Why then, and even in some cases incitement, why then now wouldn't you want the court or the law to run its course with regards to Nnamdi Kanu? I think I did. We get all kind of, for example, you said, the other question you put, I wrote it down here, hold up. Okay, Noble, you said something about the case being repealed, and KJ said the same thing. But I just the act, not the case, the act being repealed, the act which is being charged under. But I just checked it, and that's not what it says at all. It says the act was repealed in November in 2011. The act was made. In 2018, because they wanted to add certain international clauses, it was repealed and reenacted. So it used to be the Terrorism Prevention Bill. It was the act. And now it's a Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act. So it's not like he's being charged under a law that does not exist. He's being charged under a law that was reenacted, which is the law now.
No.
Content. I want to add something. No. I'm not doing emotion. I'm not doing conjecture. If you want to argue on the face of the law or discuss based on that, I'll do that. I'm not doing the ad hominems, the insults. That's why I ignored you. I'm not doing it. So, in essence, KJ, that is it. You know, for us to keep going round and round, is the law as it is. I think the law is applicable to the charge. All right, and I think the judge is actually being pretty patient, if you ask me. The judge is being exceptionally patient. From coming on the day of trial, you fire your attorneys. He's giving you time to even go look over the cases. They gave you the discovery, gave you time. It's even practically asking you to put up a proper defense, because these things are going to help you. If you are found guilty, they're going to help you on appeal. And whatever you do not present right now in trial, you cannot litigate them on appeal. It's not going to happen. So I think that is why the judge is being patient and is trying his utmost so he doesn't feel like he gets railroaded. Because if, for example, he has any constitutional claims to how he was convicted, which I think he will be convicted, if he has any constitutional claims, if he does not bring them up right now, he cannot bring them up on appeal. You cannot relitigate a conviction when you did not address those issues at trial. So I think the judge is actually pretty patient with the way the case, with the way he's handling Nnamdi Kanu up until now.
Okay. So if we ask you, say the judge is being pretty. So since the judge is being pretty patient and the user asks you to please show me the charge for which I'm being charged, what is then what stopped his patience not allowing him to read out that charge that he has been charged?
I don't know that he hasn't read it out, and I don't see what a big deal would be. KJ, you asked me a question. Let me answer. Let me answer.
I don't know, but
KJ, is it okay? Is it KJ? Let me answer. You're not privy to the case, just as like I'm not privy to the case. You're not the court clerk. You're not the stenographer. You don't have eyes there. You're not there. So just like I don't know, you don't know, no matter how you feel, except you're telling me now that you're God. So I don't know that he hasn't read it. But like I was continuing to say, if he hasn't read it, I don't see a big deal in saying, this is what you're charged with, this is what you're charged with, this is what you're charged with. I think he should. But if he doesn't, maybe there's something under Nigerian law that he feels might end up being something that Nnamdi Kanu could bring up on appeal. And maybe he doesn't want to put himself in that position. And that, I don't know, but okay, you don't know either. You've not seen you haven't seen the transcript. I haven't seen the transcript. We're not in the court. We don't have ears or eyes in the court. So I don't know.
There's a picture on your screen. Do you recognize the guy on the screen?
No, who's that?
Okay. That's one of the lead terrorists in Nigeria.
Right.
He's having a press conference addressing ministers and addressing governors in the so-called peace meeting. That's how he came. And he went back that way. So if you've been following what is going on in Nigeria, you should have known him, because that's why I brought the picture.
I've seen his face. I don't know him. It's inconsequential for me in a lot of things. But what is your point?
But he's one of your brothers. You're supposed to know him.
Nnamdi Kanu is your brother too.
Nnamdi Kanu is my brother. Yes, he's my brother. Very, very big brother.
I don't even know what I'm talking to you. Please stop talking to me. Anyway, KJ, I'm listening to you.
Stop. Mr. Concern, stop. Nothing. Now, when Nnamdi Kanu's residence was searched, the DSS of asked, "What did you find with him?" He said they found a cell phone, the transmitter, and they asked him, "Is that all you found? Can you bring?" You said Nnamdi Kanu was involved in terrorism. He said yes. Yeah, he killed a lot of people. He said yes. Can you bring any family that can say I was affected by Nnamdi Kanu? It was because of Nnamdi Kanu's broadcast or whatever I heard that made me to do this act. Can you bring one person? And the man said, well, he doesn't have anybody. Now you have said that they have been impatient. The judge have been patient with Nnamdi Kanu, and you have given literally what the Nigerian media vomits out every week. Because
those are true.
Those are not the facts. The fact that Nnamdi Kanu have been in detention for over getting to 10 years now, okay, under this same thing. It was because of Nnamdi Kanu they invented Operation Python Dance.
But KK, what's your question with regards to this picture that you asked me when you put it up? What's your question?
Yes. We say what's the question?
Yeah. I mean, you put it up obviously to ask me if I know him. So what's your question?
This man on the screen, Nnamdi Kanu, who should deserve to be walking freely and the other person being in detention?
All right. So if you've heard me, this is why I said we have to separate emotions, or a lot of y'all need to learn to separate emotions when you're talking on this case. If you've heard me speak on this issue, you've heard me speak 50 times on it, at least, maybe 100. And my position has always been that this so-called repentance that the Nigerian army does is either you convict them, but preferably I say kill them. I say in a situation like Nigeria where justice doesn't reign supreme, you have to eliminate them. I've said this 1,000 times. And which is why I mentioned Ngo based on what he said and what you're also saying now on what your guy down there said. Do you guys want justice or not? If you want justice, then it shouldn't matter who it is being meted out to. Now, as regards with Nnamdi Kanu, let me tell you something. There's in the United States, right, for example, you don't have to practically catch someone committing an act before you can convict them of that act. This is why we have conspiracy laws. So if you found Nnamdi Kanu with a radio transmitter, right? And what else did you say they found him with? Then you have to prove that those instruments he had, he used them to violate the law. In the United States, free speech is not against the law. But if free speech turns into incitement, you don't have to necessarily be down there shooting people or blowing them up or killing them. But if your free speech, the speech you made led someone to commit an act, this is why in the United States, once if Kanu Nnamdi was in the United States, for example, the courts will follow what is called the Brandenburg Doctrine. It's the Brandenburg approach. Now, the Brandenburg approach is what you would use to decide whether his incitement or his inciting speech led to the loss of lives and property. It comes under Brandenburg versus Ohio, where this KKK guy, he was claiming, well, it was free speech, what I did was from 1969, whatever. But yeah, so sometimes your free speech might actually be in violation of the law.
Okay,
we saw it in Nuremberg, for example.
I need to stop you. Two Nigeria, one brain cell. You know why I need to stop you? Sam Amadi, who teaches law, who is a lawyer, was there the other day, and you put up this same argument, and he said it's not correct. He said
that's not true. I wasn't here. Don't lie on me. I wasn't here with Sam Amadi.
Okay, one of your people came and put up this.
Don't lie on me. I wasn't here.
And he said, okay, sorry if you are not the one. He said this is not correct. He put the correct listing, and said even at that point, the man.
What is the correct listing? What is the correct listing?
Okay, hold on, sir. Just give me 1 minute. I have one more video to play. So
no. KJ, don't run away. You just said he put up the correct listing. What is the correct listing? You can't just speak in abstracts.
But
hold on.
He's not a lawyer. You could give him the opportunity.
No. But if you know you're not a lawyer, I'm not saying he has to speak from the point of the law. He said a correct. 1 second. He said he put up a correct. 1 second. He said he put up a correct listing and then moved on. What is the correct listing?
Let him bring up.
You can't just speak in abstracts. Explain it to us so we can have a genuine conversation.
Day of November 2025. I'm just coming from DSSS now, where I went to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to discuss, to know how far he has prepared in respect of the things he needed to file for his case tomorrow. But surprisingly, he told me that after the proceedings of that yesterday, he pleaded with the DSSS that they should allow him to do the necessary affidavits and the filing he needed to do in the court. They said no, that they should get to the office first, then he can now come back. On reaching to the office, he asked them that let him go back. They said no, that he should leave it today. That since morning till the time I came, I went there around 3. They refused to take him where he's supposed to do the affidavits and the necessary papers, so thereby frustrating him for his case tomorrow. And you know that he's representing himself, and there are some affidavits he needs to do by himself. So you cannot see how DSSS are frustrating Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Tomorrow now somebody will start writing rubbish that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu don't want to do his matter. You see, and we continue to plead that please court to send this man to prison, to Kuje prison, where he will have adequate time. He has no printer, he has no laptop, he has nothing, absolutely nothing. Before he will do anything, he must go to a business center. And the court said, allow him access. They refused. I don't know what is going to happen in court tomorrow. Just to update you. Thanks and God bless you.
Okay. Thank you and God bless you too. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming. I can see support diaspora voting, aka Sam Loco. Okay. Loco P. Loco P, you are welcome. Maybe I should let you cool down before you have your first show. Why are you are now doing boju with your image? Why now?
No, just I mean somewhere the background is implicating.
Okay, you're welcome. Let's maybe why you have listened to what we are discussing. The case coming up tomorrow with Nnamdi Kanu, and up to this moment he has not been able to put his defense together because of what he wants to even present. They have refused to allow him access to go to do affidavit or even print out what he has written, he has written, he wants to submit to the court. And apart from that, last week the DSS officer felt so aggrieved that he went in there to go and fight Nnamdi Kanu, beating him and kicking him. In fact, he took the intervention of his colleagues to save Nnamdi Kanu from further harm. The question we ask is, what has this man done to deserve so much punishment? All that's meted out on him. Refusing to allow him go have himself treated, refusing to allow his visitors, people to visit him, to even give his lawyers access. As you have heard, his lawyers, it was so frustrating because when they go to DSS office where they go to see him, they will ask them not to go with paper, not to go with phone, not to go with biro, not to go with nothing. So you go and talk and come back, and whatever you remember is what they're going to write and bring to court. Is that the way justice is done? Because I'm beginning to believe that maybe there's something more terrible that Nnamdi Kanu did, which the Nigerian government have not told us. Why all this is perpetrated on him? What do you think?
Hello everybody. For me, yeah, you might say because of the way the federal government been treating other, criminals of his status, because I believe he still has terrorism and treasonable offenses on his head. So other bandits, militia that have maimed, ransacked, killed, and terrorized other Nigerian citizens, many of them have been shown pardon or whatever in the name of rehabilitation, which I strongly detest. Like Boom said, they are all supposed to be executed, all of them. Okay, so but for the federal government to show them, mercy by rehabilitating them, allowing them to come to society back, Kanu's case should not be different. You understand? That is where you may say there's injustice. Then also not, even if you're a criminal, for the fact that you have not been sentenced. Even criminals that have been sentenced, convicted, they still have rights to sentence. So, but his own case, where I believe his own case is there, is because one, there are too many interests, both from his people and from the Nigerian government, so to speak. Maybe from international community, you might not know. Because of the interest to make Nigeria become one and be making Nigeria. You may be surprised you have too many foreign interests making sure that this guy stays there. Then for his own case, now it's simple for me. I would say, if I say you stole something, even if I'm lying, yeah, and the judge did not ask me to prove my case because I'm the prosecutor, which is like the police, I must have written something, this and that, and present to the judge, and the judge to the court, and the court will like, okay, now this is your prosecution, defend yourself. So it is not on his Kanu's place to ask, where is my whatever, what is my offense? You stand, or rather, let me put it like this. Okay, you say you want to defend yourself. All this way he has lawyers. He has been going arguing, put over that. And I believe all those lawyers, Ejimako, and even starting from this first boy that was bleaching somehow, the first young guy, forgotten his name. It was before Ejimako came in. All of them. Ifeanyi, I wanted to remember the son because I think it was something I remember more. But Ifeanyi, I think it's Ifeanyi. From his case, from his time to Ejimako's time, all of them, they'll be arguing on something, on a case, on a criminal case, indicting case. And I don't think none of them will say, no, he doesn't have a case to answer. I think he has a case to answer. The only thing that I feel he should have done was not to fire his lawyers. Because if he goes in there by himself to defend himself, he will be seen as a lawyer. And if by mistake, because you don't have any lawyer training or lawyer whatever, and you now say something that might be in contempt of court.
Hey, please don't press. I don't want to God local. That brother too, to Nigeria, they were saying something. I want to ask them because they when
none of the ever lie person talk. There's Nigerian see, come Dan, keep quiet. Just keep quiet. Dan, hold on. Listen, you don't agree. No, KJ, hold on. Dan, listen. Hold on first. Dan, listen, you there abroad, eh?
So now, Revolution, hold on. We will ask that question. Hold on.
Dan, listen. Dan,
I don't like this way they do local. You
Dan, listen.
Make una they talk through.
Dan, listen. You there abroad, eh? Do me one favor. You know, so you my guy. There abroad, eh?
That's why they tell you now. Talk through.
Just wait first now. Don't hold on. Just allow person talk. Just allow. It not cost you anything.
Sorry.
It not cost you anything.
Now question I ask you, but sorry.
Yeah, but on a very good day, if you I finish now, you ask the question. I still there to answer you. You understand? You know what I talk to? I like situation whereby we feel they accommodate each other. That is the reason why we know the go where we go forward for Nigeria. So
because now they lie too much.
No, listen, see, look.
Now go say black, now go say now white.
Dan, they're not born you the same day. What you see as 6, I see them as 9.
Because that is the problem that Nigeria gets. Because you see something, instead of make you talk the truth, you go to lie the truth.
Dan, I still tell you, Dan.
Sorry, I want to say good night. All these type of people, sometimes I don't know where they come from.
Look, it's so pathetic, eh? I don't know why we say one person bring contrary opinion. You defeat him, and that is the problem where Nigeria not to go. Look, two things can be right at the same time. That is where you guys don't get it most time. Two things can be right at the same time. You can see a 6 and I'll see a 9. We are both seeing the same thing, but in a perspective, it doesn't mean we are both wrong or correct, or one is wrong, one is right. Now, understanding, that's how people move forward. You get the life. So as I was saying, yeah, look, all the charges they give them, yeah, I know terrorism. I said it here before. I said terrorism day, treasonable offenses day. You understand? And even the one that is jumped bail. You understand? I think that is where they can easily hold him on this on the drone trouser. Like, look, we allow you bail before, and you jump bail and you fled the country. That we now have to, you might call it illegally, go and bring you from Kenya and bring you back. Had it been you didn't go to Kenya and you were in Nigeria, or we pretend to forget about you and you came back to Nigeria and we adopted you, it is on record that you jumped bail. That is one. Then the other thing that you might not agree with, that he went to be illegally adopted from Kenya and brought back to Nigeria. That is another case. But that case that you were adopted from Kenya to Nigeria do not extinguish or expunge the fact that you did not jump bail to flee the country. That one is another case.
But it's not a big deal though.
See, no, hold on. Look. Jumping of bail is a risk. That's why they use short T.
No, I'm saying compared to what he's facing right now, jumping from bail is not.
Hold on. That is the best fact that you brought that in.
Why I brought the jumping of bail? Hold on. No, let me finish.
Hold on. If you are following the case, the Supreme Court ruled on that. The Supreme Court had so much harsh word for the lower court based on that, and the Supreme Court said that he cannot be said to have jumped bail because they, with the whole indicted the government and the army. So what are you saying? They're still saying that you say jump bail. That means you can't.
Hold on. Now, KJ, see your problem, man. See your problem. You didn't assume. No, hold on first. Now, listen. Wait, listen. Let me give you a simple scenario. Yeah? It just be like, you should ask very dark man they operate for Nigeria now. Yeah? Will be see anybody get any problem? Very dark man, come and help me. Very dark man, come and help me. The guy go really somehow get the problem solved. Abi, good. But you think say that man will call very dark man for help now? If tomorrow maybe very dark man not come answer now, he can say no. I did not cry to the police because the police will not answer me. That's why I cried to very dark man. You just say court go listen to that kind of excuse. That is because of this. That's why you did not call the police.
Yeah, but look, in the whole scheme of things, the bill jumping issues like right here,
No,
and then the terrorism charges are up here. So it's inconsequential, really, at this point.
That's what I wanted to answer you just now before getting interrupted. Look, jumping of bail is a risk that if you jump bail the first time, you might think it's small, but I might not have the trust or liberty to leave you again. Because
because
it's a flight risk. Because it's a flight risk. But it's not a material fact in the whole scheme of things right now. Say he was seeking bail. If he was asking for bail, then it would have been a very material fact to say, listen, this guy already fled and he's a danger to society because he actually still propagated XYZ while he was outside the jurisdiction of the court. But it is not material right now based on this the severity of the other charges that he's facing. So if it doesn't, it's inconsequential, really.
I agree with you. I didn't say, go back to my word, I did not say they are the same. I just brought the issue of jumping of bail because KJ was saying like going out to go and do photocopy this and come back or whatever. You understand? He would have allowed his lawyers to go and okay, I need this and this and I need that. You understand? But asking himself to go there and do photocopy and come back.
No, they said they should transfer him to a prison where they have those amenities, where they have like typewriters, computers, where he will have easy access to his lawyers. But he's under DSS custody right now, so he's in solitary confinement. So he wants them to amend the way he's being housed right now. And the court is saying, well, we're not going to do that. We're not going to acquiesce to all your demands. We're not going to let you go to a hospital of your own choice, and we're not going to let you go to a facility of your own picking. So this is where the conundrum is at this point. So he's not saying he wants to go to the streets. He's saying he wants to transfer.
Okay, then that be the case. Why is prison? Not even remand him. Maybe they also remand him in prison. Is it DSS custody or Kuje prison?
Now that's the question I want.
He wants to go to Kuje, but he's in DSS custody right now.
That's the question I want to ask Mr. True Niger One Brensel. Do you stay in the custody of the DSS to attend your court case? The DSS is the one prosecuting you, and you are also kept in their own dungeon. Is that done? Is that lawful? Is that Nigerian law?
No.
If it doesn't violate,
you know why? Hold on, I'm sorry. You can still be. You know why? I've seen a situation whereby you go to a court, ideally, because my understanding was once after you go to court, from police cell to court, from court, if they don't see your case that time, either you go to jail for awaiting trial or you go to jail for conviction. I've seen a situation, not even one, several times, where the court will still order the police to take that person back to the cell, not even in prison at all.
Right.
Maybe
if it doesn't violate his rights, the courts can actually ask him to be housed anyway. So basically, his rights. If it doesn't violate his rights, there's no inhumane conditions attached to where he's being housed. He has like paper and letters, and he can receive calls, he can make calls, he can write, he can check his case. He can check case laws to defend himself. He can have easy access to his attorneys, have easy access to his family, things of that nature. Then that would not be a problem. But I don't know. And because of the high profile nature of his case, again, they might, I don't know what kind of security agreement they have, so I don't know. But if it violates his rights, then that is where there's a problem.
Yeah, it's a big problem, yeah.
There's a problem. So if it violates,
I'm sorry, Tunanja, I just want to quickly, because I've been quiet for a while, I just want to chip in. And I think the first thing I want to say, if you just permit me without interrupting, is that we all live outside the shores of Nigeria. And there's nowhere for a case of this magnitude that you put someone in a police custody. DSA is just an equivalent of a police. They are just an arm of the police. Yes, you can't keep him there. And considering the fact that he's defending himself, he needs access to make research, just like you say, case laws, access to everything that he needs to defend himself. Even before then, when he had his lawyers, he didn't have an opportunity to consult his lawyers in privacy. So I just think when you look at the moral aspect and the justice aspect, he can't be in DSS custody for months or years. It doesn't make any sense. Either you transfer him to Kuje prison or not. Now I'm going to bring another equivalence. I know most people in Nigeria don't like equivalence. People like to have short memory. The other equivalence I wanted to bring was the guy that orchestrated and bombed the church in Madala during Goodluck Jonathan's the peak of Boko Haram. When this guy was finally arrested, this guy was transferred to Kuje prison.
Yeah.
And it was from Kuje prison that this guy was coming to defend his case. This is somebody that committed a terroristic attack on the Nigerian state that cost hundreds of lives. Under the US Constitution, that guy will be in a maximum security prison. But the guy, obviously, they call Kuje maximum security prison. But I mean, shouldn't that guy be under the DSS custody more than somebody like Nnamdi Kanu? Now, we talked about the issue of John Bell. I think just like you said too, Nigeria, it's immaterial because the Supreme Court has already made a ruling on that he didn't John Bell. So I don't see the point that Support Diaspora was even making at that time. It's useless. I mean, it's not relevant. So my point is, that brings us back to the main issue of this whole Nigeria and the trial of Nnamdi Kanu is that the Nigerian government has lost the moral rights to continue to prosecute this case, and largely because of the injustice and the false equivalence in how they've prosecuted this case. We can clearly see in open daylight how they've treated more dangerous criminals compared to how they've treated Nnamdi Kanu. You can't build a society like that. It's not possible. Why are we wasting our time? I mean, what's the essence of this whole shenanigans? If you want to try Nnamdi Kanu, then you have to try everybody else. If you don't want to try Nnamdi Kanu, then you don't try everybody else. It's obvious that's how it is. If the Nigerian state wants to be taken seriously like a civilized society, which we definitely are not, then we should behave like a third world country that we are. But if we want to behave like a civilized society, then everybody should be equal under the law.
All right, next. Your camera is off.
Sorry. The Nigerian state has lost the moral right to continue to try this case. And I know we are coming to the end of this discussion. My point is, the Nnamdi Kanu case is just a clear example of how the Nigerian state has failed in administering justice. And when you compare that to everything that is happening, it's unfair. And then when you look at this whole bigger picture of what we are going through at the moment and the existential threats to our country, I just feel like they are bothering themselves on things that are not relevant. I'm going to say one way to acquiesce a significant proportion of the population is to bring this whole shenanigans to an end. If not, you cannot have a safe society. It's not possible.
Which is what I wanted to ask you. So I want to say, are you saying, because I would assume that all of us on here believe that everybody should be equal under the law. And we all agree that justice should be meted out accordingly, regardless of creed, sex, tribe, and all of that good stuff. So, but what I'm not understanding is, are you saying that Nnamdi Kanu should not be prosecuted at all because he hasn't committed a crime, or you don't think he has committed a crime? Or are you saying, well, I think he probably has committed a crime or has committed a crime, but because others have been let go, then they should also set him free. Now, if the latter is your position, at what point do we have a system where there is law and order, or justice even?
I mean, that's a very perfect question you've asked, and I understand what you're trying to ask. At the time we started the discussion with KG, I spoke to Nnamdi's case from two perspectives. I spoke about the legality of the case, and I spoke about the morality of the case, and equity, justice and equity. Now, the legality of the case is that they're trying him for terrorism. Now, Nnamdi Kanu is arguing that he's got a right to free speech, but the state is arguing that he doesn't. But what Nnamdi Kanu is talking about here is that law that the state is trying to convict him for has been repealed. And while you guys were talking, I quickly went and checked again, and I saw that what you said was not correct, factually not correct. I just checked online while this argument was going on. It's factually not correct.
That
now
was.
And
that was.
That case that the Nigerian state can charge you for what you say has already been repealed.
See, okay, sorry, let me correct something. Let me say something here. Look,
but he hasn't answered the question, look. I was waiting for him to answer the question.
KJ, listen here. This is the reduced count here. Let me say the initial charges were amended several times, yeah. While he originally faced multiple counts up to 15 in court in 2022, struck out several of them, though the core charges of terrorism and treasonable felony were ultimately upheld for trial. Current status, yeah, the court has ruled that the prosecution established a prima facie case against him, meaning there is enough evidence to warrant a trial, and is ordered to enter whatever the defense. The previous ruling 2022, whatever. So, bro, look, see, I know the word is the Nigeria is acting funny, but doesn't mean that they are still stupid. They can't just be acting foolishly and just allow think Nigerians are fools. You understand? If it doesn't have anything at all for trial, at all. I know I think I was following the case when the Mako said that they were shaking hands, jubilating that they've cancelled many of his whatever. They did not say they cancelled all of them.
The Court of Appeals.
You understand? They cancelled many. They cancelled all of them.
Local, hold on. You see, I think we should do better when we're coming for these programs. Read up on the topics and see. If you don't have the history of what's going on.
I'm just reading.
I am a bit concerned because that is why when a situation is placed on the table, you guys are going. You're going from a very far end. You're coming from a very far end of the stick. Okay, and I'm not saying this because. You see, there's an, let us face it, whether we like it or not, there's an Igbophobia in Nigeria.
Show me my crime. Show me my crime law.
Nnamdi Kanu was not Igbo, he would never have been there in the first place. This case would have been long done with. The only reason why this is going on, I will keep going on, and I will give you my opinion, and my opinion is simply that they want to look for whatever possible way to either send him to jail, or send him to hanging, or send him to life imprisonment. Okay? In the same country where you're telling me what you're just trying to say now is where these people like this are existing. There are more than 20 of them who have taken human lives, who have taken communities, who are still asking for money from federal government. It is the same federal government who gave these same individuals on your screen 100 million, 100 million, is it 100 million or 100 billion in Buhari's first term, to go and settle themselves. Did anybody ever ask what that money was used for? You guys come here, you just sometimes I think we should.
I don't know if you can repeat yourself. So I didn't hear you properly.
You don't like us too much, but it's okay. You don't.
You're gonna answer the question.
That I think it's unfair. for you to do that.
KG, hold on, I don't understand the way. I read something here currently just now. You said I should go and read the topic. I just read the topic just now.
No, what you read is too mundane for where we are with this discussion.
No, hold on, wait. Okay, let me understand you clearly. Sorry, let me understand you clearly. I read something, the current, whatever, just now online, yeah? And you said I should go and read the topic of discussion. So I read it just now. He said, show me my case, show me my offense, and I will defend myself. Abi, was that not what is the title is reading? So I'm saying currently what I'm reading online is that the current case that most of them have been struck, that probably is still on for treasonable felony and terrorism. So are you telling me no that those cases have still been squashed or what?
Local P. What is terrorism? Local P. Local P. What is terrorism? What is somebody terrorism? Can you give me the full definition of terrorism? And then see where Nnamdi Kanu came into the terrorism.
Okay. My understanding, for what I've been following this guy for a long while. Yeah. Hold on now. Just the way Simon Ekpa was charged.
Forget about Simon Ekpa. Ask a question. Tell me, what is the definition of terrorism?
If you ask me a question.
What is the definition of terrorism? Forget about where this man is coming. I said, what is terrorism? What's the definition of terrorism?
Terrorism,
and how Nnamdi came into terrorism? Yeah.
Terrorism is the act of terrorist.
So did Nnamdi Kanu commit terrorism? Is he a terrorist?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now your problem now. I tell you, answer question just now. You fight me. I say just the way, they use law to catch someone Ekpa for
a mature man like you. Look at a mature my friend can't sleep. A mature man like you don't tell me wake up this night. Only to talk about Nnamdi Kanu. Don't you say Nnamdi Kanu is even good for you? If Nigeria divide today, you can even come back to your own country. And that's very well. That's saying that you useless Britain you are. My friend.
Your problem is just listening. I said, here's your problem. When person not good, you like to insult person. I just go somewhere just now.
Because you have to talk something to somebody.
Just quiet first. If I finish, if I not correct, makes sense. Come back to me. Just quiet.
Correct you what?
Now I tell you, I say just the way they hold someone Ekpa as offense for something way happen for Nigeria.
It's not my question. That's not my question. Ask what is terrorism now. Define terrorism for me. Define terrorism.
I say it's an act of terrorist. I think it's an act of terrorist.
Did Nnamdi Kanu commit terrorist? He said terrorist.
You're quite first.
You're mad. You're mad. Come on, get out my friend. You're very mad. You're mad.
Yeah, sorry, I call you there. Just hold on.
In the same vein. In Niger, in Zamfara, in Plateau,
ask your question.
Kaduna, in Yobe, in Borno. We're only talking about Boko Haram. Boko Haram is just a tip of the iceberg. There's a full-scale war going on. And the blackmail of the Nigerian state by the Nigerian military is shameful. They said they do not have enough armament. And people listen to these false narratives. They are lying. They are liars. I repeat, they are liars because I am a participant. I am a participant in this war. I fight on the side of the government of the Nigerian state, in Plateau, in Niger, in Anambra, in Imo, in Abia, and in Rivers State, and in Abuja. Today you are traveling to Kaduna on this road. It's not the army that made it possible to travel for you to travel to Abuja, or travel to Kaduna, vice versa. It is my men, employed by the government of the Nigerian state, stationed in Niger. Today you go to Baga, you go to Chirolo, you go to Wase. We have lost so many men, and we do not use, in all this engagement, we don't even have 1% of the armament deployed by the Nigerian military. 1%. And we have had resounding success. So these black men must end. They have enough resources to fight. Instead of fighting, they are busy stealing. They are busy making the government to spend unnecessarily.
I don't know why you don't make me answer this question.
Okay. Thank you. Hold on. No. Hold on.
No, he asked me a question now. Did fair. Did fair if you do this thing. Because you don't want to hear them. Did fair. Better ask me a question. I don't want to give an answer. See the reason why you say no make an answer. You bring video come up. Not see the moderate. I don't understand.
I am no. Don't say that. You are.
No, don't see the moderate. I ask you now.
Don't let me take an action that you know. Like I beg you.
I don't care. I don't understand. I think you if you take a course down for this place at the end money. Why you talk? I can't say that. You try to say don't take an show. If you take question, I call it cry. I don't understand.
You see, as I respect you, so make you take respect me. I'm moderating this program.
Hold on, you moderate exactly. That's what
I give you the time to talk. I let you talk. If I say you shouldn't talk, then wait. That's how it is.
As you cut,
you don't tell me when you want to talk.
Without even excuse now. You say you respect me.
No. You don't tell me when you want to talk. I am the one moderating the program.
Exactly.
Please.
But as you cut me off with video now, is that respect to me?
Because I've been asking you to stop since you didn't stop.
You asked me to stop.
Yes.
All right, come on, let's get on with it, man. Come on, let's get on with it.
I don't want to go through this. I beg you. Now, I played you that video. The comments you guys are making. The comment I've been making is that Nnamdi Kanu is one of the deadliest people to exist. But I played you this video because this same man said something very interesting that many Nigerians do not talk about. He had been fighting in many places. I have been fighting in the 5 eastern states with his men. Now, when the issue of unknown governments comes, they say it is IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, ECN, it's a security network. It is unknown government, Nnamdi Kanu. It is Biafra, this thing, Nnamdi Kanu. But nobody mentions the fact that this charlatan here has his forces maiming and doing all kinds of evil things in the east. Even till tomorrow, he still have his army well armed, living in the south. The DSS have not gone to bring him out. They've not gone. The army have not gone there to shell it down. He is still living. He has arms, ammunitions, and doing as he likes in Nigerian space. But nothing happens to him. Okay? Nothing happens to him. But the man who does not even have one small Adla Makalon, the one that used to say, don't choke your hand in my mouth. They put him in a dungeon for 5 years. And you people come, you sit down, you find it very interesting to say that the man, the man has done what he did. He's sitting in the dungeon by himself. He sees about 1 hour of sunlight every day, every 2 days. And you think you can justify that by which means? Which means? Sometimes these things really angers me. Why? Why do you think that can be justifiable? Have you ever stayed in a room where if you move your hands, your 2 hands are touching the walls? Have you ever tried sleeping in such a room for like one week and see what it does to your brain? I don't know. And you guys live in
KJ, how do you know that's where he's at?
He just rant. They like say you get fat with you talk. Look at that.
KJ, Dr. KJ, that's what I want to show you here.
You know to attend by this thing before. If you come and I just quietly come out to you. I don't get that power.
What's your problem now? What's your problem?
Let's not fight.
You say I think you don't go there before.
All right.
Then you say if you
Dr.
don't like
KJ.
Yes.
You see this Yoruba chief or Yoruba icon. They call him icon. Noble nonsense. He said the federal government should apologize to Igboho for invading his Badan house. Can you imagine? What such a man can be able to talk? Igboho that was found with gun. they're not prosecuting him, and he's not saying anything. You know, now, like one Africa, it's good that he came. The other day, he was talking the other day. He said whenever he comes here, whenever he's talking with both Lokopi, both the other one that has big head, what is AY? Both with Niger.
You can talk, your man. You can talk.
I have been with them before. I used to argue with them before the night. My brother, when you argue with these people, so that these people hatred in them is not that they're not like people who have been in abroad. They don't like people. They don't talk like people who have been in abroad. I'm telling you, because people who have been abroad, you see the way they talk in a very reasonable way. But these people, the kind of hatred they have for other tribes, for Igbos, you can see that it's much. I'm telling you. This what people are calling.
Let's ask. Hold on, Logopi.
Listen. The truth be say, let me tell you the truth.
I don't say make you hold on now. If I talk, you go say I know you know hear me.
Oh, but you see, but if they talk just now, you leave and make it talk because in the point
I was giving time to talk.
Allow him talk. Allow the
Logopi, you have 2 minutes.
If now one debate or whatever, you know if you fluff, you know because I watch you. I see your aunties. After you believe for fathers, people are doing the same thing. See, look, concerns. You asked me the question the first time. I have seen what this guy do. I give you analogy. I say, see, the thing where you just what he commit. You might say yes, he did not physically there, or whatever. They use something to hold him, right or wrong. That is left for the court to answer. But I just tell you, okay, what did they do hold him? Terrorism and act of felony treasonable, whatever. Why did he just now? Yeah, like because where he is. He was broadcasting materials that recruits whatever, and they will this ASN where he recruits, they brand them because of their action. You might say, what is their action? The federal government know the reason why he brand them terrorist act, and you will be the convener. It now makes you a terrorist.
You see, even before ESN came, let me excuse me.
Hold on.
Even before ESN, they have already put that terrorism. Even before he formed ESN.
Listen. Your argument might be he know was rich waiting or you know near waiting this monkey where he played us now. Started the couple. Waiting to carry gun. Yes, everybody knows that. Started supposed the rotting in jail. Everybody know. Maybe go whatever. We agree. Federal government they partial by leaving them, but that not mean say because of say Nnamdi Kanu they tell them okay yes you recruit people where they terrorize a certain set of people, and that is which is an act of terrorism doesn't mean you're not a terrorist. That's why I did bring the analogy of Simon Ekpa. Simon Ekpa did a parlor. He not carry pin. He not carry barrel. He just with the material where they broadcast. You see, some people from Southeast use them, they commit harm. Now that one they charge them for.
Let me tell you.
That's why I bring someone Ekpa matter coming to the matter.
You're not listening to me.
Carry whatever.
You're not listening to me now. Listen to me. I don't want you to go to Simon Ekpa because we're not dealing with the same issue here.
I just give you and this analogy.
Yeah, he's comparing. He's just comparing it.
I just tell for you.
No.
They're not the same.
Because that's the argument your media in Nigeria is trying to draw. See, and we hold on. This is my problem. Hold on now.
Listen, if I did the spill rubbish and people they communicate somewhere else, they might hold me like a bull. Don't you get? Leave Simon Ekpa now. I might still be here now talking rubbish, saying whatever, and people they commit crime. They can say it against me.
Thank you. Let's move on. Sir, Okpabi. Sir Okpabi, welcome. Can we hear your own part portion?
Is it Okube? It's not Okpabi.
Okube, okay.
Now, Steph, change him.
Okube. Good evening, and you are welcome to the show. I think we're almost rounding up, but because of the two of you, I'll give you more time to speak. So now that you are here, Okube, and what you are saying now, if what you finish saying now and your cousins in the village take it and go and break into somebody's house, you'll be charged for that crime, right?
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
Loud and clear.
I think it's just an easy way of looking at the whole thing. I just I am not here to defend whether the government feel that they have enough thing on Nnamdi Kanu or not. But anybody who is a Nigerian or who is a human being who have not seen that there is injustice in the process the case is being handled, the person is not really not being sincere. I don't like a society where there are different rules for different people. You don't build a society like that. We know that all the things that is being, the case that is going on, there is the major crime that he committed is that, in my own thinking, they believe that his activities is a threat to the unity of the country. And that they wouldn't take it lightly with anybody who they believe is going to do anything that will lead to the division of the country. Forget about any other thing they're telling you. Because I thought that there was actually, I was waiting. Anybody that knows me knows that I've never really defended Nnamdi Kanu as a person. But I watched keenly when the prosecution was laying out the evidence, and I was surprised and disappointed because I was thinking that there must be something that they're going to bring out. I was surprised and disappointed with the level of evidence that they brought out. And if there's anybody here that followed that proceeding, that is not surprised that kind of when they finished their laying the evidence, didn't have this kind of feeling. Is that all? I'm not saying that those things are not strong, I don't know how to put it. I mean, I expected something more. But I didn't get it. If the government felt that they have strong thing against him and they are convinced that they're going to put him to jail, which they have the power to do because anybody that have witnessed the way Nigerian judiciary have been working, especially for the past 2, 3, 4 years, will know that no matter the kind of, even if they give him the freedom to defend himself, even if they make the provided convenient and conducive environment for him to defend himself, if they want to jail him, they'll still will jail him. Because there's no judge that will make any pronouncement without calling the authorities to say, okay, this is my verdict. It's only if they okay it that he's going to pronounce it. So why can't they even pretend that there is fairness? I mean, even if he's a mass murderer, and he feels that he's innocent, and he's not in the position to even discuss with his lawyers to ask him some pertinent questions, and they have a kind of one-on-one conversation. I mean, my attitude for a while had been like, let them get this over, let him get over it, because I know that they already have there's a premeditated conclusion. It's just, they are just buying time. It's obvious. Because if this man is a danger to the society, he's a flight risk, is whatever, that's the reason why you must keep him. Because that's why I asked whether all of us followed when the prosecution was laying the evidence. Because when they talked about how he was kept inside a solitary confinement, how he comes out only 1 hour a day, DSS did not deny it. They only said that they did not know. Then if you that kept him there did not know, who will know? Who's going to know? You kept me in your facility and I said that I only come out 1 hour a day to receive sunlight. And George asked you if it is true. You that kept me, you say you don't know. You are not aware. Who's going to know? Am I the only one that heard that? So when the man said that he's going to defend himself, I don't even believe he's even in the mental state to even defend himself to start with. What I'm saying is that if you believe that you have something to put this man behind bars or even to kill him, pretend that you have given him conducive environments to defend himself. If you believe the man is asking to be put in Kuje prison, is that too much to ask for? Is that too much? I don't think it's too much. If you think that putting him in Kuje prison is a risk, please, does it mean that you people have decided that when you convict him, you're going to execute him? Because if you convict him, I'm still going to put him in Kuje prison or any other prison for that matter. Why not say, okay, we're not going to put you in Kuje prison, we're going to put you in Kirikiri, or we're going to put you in the other prison? Because at the end of the day, when you convict him, you still put him in prison. Except, like I said, maybe there's already an agreement that he's going to be killed the day he will be convicted. That is the least that you can do for him. The least. Make it possible for him to defend himself. So that there will be a resemblance of equity. There will be a pretense that we are not actually targeting him. Because when all the evidence are pointing that he's being targeted, and this is the way he's been tried, this is the way he was given the opportunity to defend himself, I'm afraid I have to believe that he's actually being targeted. I just know within me that there is this kind of bias. You know, so many people that don't even know anything about the case, especially if they are not from a particular section of the country, will not even want to give him that benefit of the doubt. That is just the truth. Left for maybe more than 50% of Nigerians, they don't even want him to even defend himself in court. They believe that, no, he should have been killed since he's still alive. Why would he defend himself? We heard that he wants to divide Nigeria. Is that how you build a society? Because I know that there is a reason why I'm not trying to defend whatever excesses that some people believe that ESN have caused, but there's a reason why ESN was formed. There's a reason why ESN was formed in the first place. And if you look at it, it's not far-fetched from the reason why Ojukwu had to lead the Igbos during the Biafran War. It was a call to duty. He just looked at himself as the only one who can do it. People were being killed in their farms. Anybody who is not, playing the Nigerian game will know that the level of insecurity we'll have in the southeast today, or military presence or whatever, there was something that was happening before ESN was formed. Headers were attacking the villagers, attacking them in their farms, attacking them on the street. My junior sister died not inside the farm. She was just unfortunate coming back from the city at the odd hour of the night because they had transportation issues. And the herders that moved their cows in the middle of through the streets had encounter with her. I don't want to talk about every other thing that was done to her, but she didn't survive that experience. So something must be wrong with Nigerians. Something is wrong with Nigerians. Anything that is not, that you are not directly that did not directly affect you means nothing. That is why it's convenient for somebody who lives in Lagos, who have lived in Lagos for more than 20 years, who wake up and tell you, why are they saying that Christians are being killed in Nigeria, that no Christian is being killed in Nigeria? Nobody said Christians are being killed in Lagos. Because you did not know that they are being killed does not mean that it's not some people's truth. It is some people's reality every day, or every month, or every week. Don't you think that when you are in a different section of the country where you are not affected, painting a different picture, how do you think that those people feel? The ones that are directly affected. What I shared with you now, this is the second time I'm saying it in this platform. That was a personal experience. So when you hear some of those things, they are truths. When governments refuse to do what they're supposed to do, and when people resort to self-help, most times it will spiral out of control. But I'm not going to believe the person who decided to help his people. I will not. Because somebody had that responsibility.
Okay.
And the person refused to do it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I think that's what you've just spoken, very, very apt. Whether you are on the side of the Nigerian government or on the side of Nnamdi Kanu, what he has explained has cut across everything. But if you don't find anything reasonable in what you have said, well, the world is not a very fair place for the blind. So I will leave it at that. One Africa. Let's hear you, sir. You've informed the argument quite all right. So I believe you know what you want to say.
Yeah, I've been following the argument, and really like to address a few things. Hello, everybody, and people on the comment section, even people who will be negative, no matter what, whether it's objective or not. Two things here. I like the way this case is going. I think Nnamdi Kanu, whether by error or by error of omission or completion, is forcing this case to come to an end, one way or the other. I really like, when this happened, the media was awash about how he's making a mistake. But I think this is checkmate if you play chess. Because this idea now is they got to make a pronouncement. And, I think the Omoto Shaw or somebody, everybody knows that guy, right? His judgments are littered over Nigeria, shameful judgments, He said if he does not open his case, then they will go to whatever, adopt whatever the prosecutor say, and they have to go to judgment. Oh, I love this scenario. Because the guy is saying, and coming from the appeal courts, you can't build something on nothing. So the whole idea is that, he was brought into this country illegally. That's the end of the case. Actually, I want them to do something because, we want to have one Nigeria. People like me would like one Nigeria. I like the idea that we're able to, in fact, I think we should integrate more Black people. But, if you keep trying something and it doesn't work, then you have to, ask yourself, why do you keep trying? We tried Nigeria from whenever Lord Lugard is 1904 till 1967. We said, okay, we're not going to do this again. Everybody said, no. brothers will kill you, will buy you to come back. And we came back. We've tried it again. It doesn't look like it's working. And a decision has to be made. And people say, oh, no, we don't have to let foreigners make it for us. Maybe this may be a way, because I want the judge to tell Nnamdi Kanu that you're going to hang him. I want to see them do that. You know, let them, this is not Ogonio. You know, this, I've made it very clear. There, you know, in the Igbo leadership, there is no vacuum. I don't agree with, I did like Nnamdi Kanu initially. He's very knowledgeable. There are some things that I didn't agree with, but there's no question about him being the prime leader. Whether you like it or not, if he speaks, everybody listens. At least the majority will listen. I want them to go and find him guilty of whatever they want to find him guilty. Let's see what happens to this country. Because, you know, I'm getting sick. You know, when I started coming here, I tried to talk about the North. I say, you know, look, there are problems in the North. We need to get everything together. People start attacking you. Now, everybody is saying, you know, the CBN, former CBN governor, is saying, no, there's a problem in the North. Everything, you can say anything in Nigeria. Anybody can, once it's not an Igbo person saying it. This is a useless country. And you think you can shut people down? You people better get ready for what you're asking for. Because this is stupid. Even the people who are in the middle, or people who are on the one Nigeria side, you know, you're going to get what you want, because this is silly. You know, like Igbo is walking around. There's a picture of that guy with his AK-47 and all the cartridges and everything. And Nigeria knows where this guy is, and they're playing a game. And people are saying, Gumi is coming out to say, no, if you buy the terrorists, then you're committing genocide against terrorists. You know, and Gumi is walking around. We do have a list of terrorist sponsors in Nigeria, and the government hasn't done anything about the list. Everybody knows there's a list. They know the folks. And everybody is complaining, oh, Trump is coming to take our resources. Well, I want to give him the resource. If I have the key, I will go drive to DC tomorrow and give it to him. Go and take these stupid resources. What has it benefited us? This is stupid. You know, like, you know, let me tell people, you know, the bias is things, you know, like you can see when people speak, you can even see, you know, how their bias thinks, you know, like it's easy. And I'm sick of it. You know, all these guys that will come in, oh no, try to tell Igbo people how to behave. Who are you? Go and behave yourself. First, who is doing well in Nigeria? Who is benefiting from the stupid country that we have there? Where, you know, our president, the last president, didn't he go and buy in London? I thought he loved Daura so much. He built, why didn't he build hospitals in Daura? He's been in power how many times? The terrorism is worse in his village than it's in my own village. I go to my village, I can sleep. He can't sleep in his own village. He had to run to Kaduna. Crazy. What is going on with these people? Well, no problem. Nnamdi Kanu should, I like what he said. You know, there's nothing to try me on. Let them convict him and carry out the sentence. Then when you now do, you know, you go and matter him. Because when you do it, everybody, you know, is going to be very obvious. Let me see Tinubu or whatever, the judge that will sign that thing. Sign it. You know the fear. This is like Igbos need to just sit up, pump their chest, and tell people to go to hell. What nonsense is this thing? You know, we've tried to be nice, we try to be accommodating. People keep trying to talk us down. What is people are saying, oh no, you know, did he do something? Okay, yeah, he did something. Then what? Didn't every other person do something? Why didn't you leave them? You know, and I want to talk to her, speak the truth here. That, you know, my brother, You know, we have difference of opinion many times, but I think we found a way to be respectful of each other's view. And I'm not going to disrespect you. And, you know, this may be my last chance to doing this, really. You know, I think you're a reasonable guy. You know, even if you may sound, I know your biases. I do have mine, and we need to respect that. But I want to ask you something. Do you think that with, you know, whether Nnamdi Kanu committed a crime, whether he did everything, with the Nigerian situation and how Nigeria has handled people like him, do you think that he should continue in a trial or Nigeria should let him go?
You've asked me this question before, and I've told you, maybe because of my background and my training, I'm a stickler for following the law. I'm a stickler for justice, the enforcement of law and order. I also believe in following the Constitution to the T. And I've told you this before. If I was in position of the president, and I'll tell you why. And it's a beautiful question because I was already writing something I wanted to respond to. I've told you, if I was the president, I would have said, call my attorney general. Has this guy's rights been violated, especially his rights to a speedy trial? If it has been violated, let's let him go. Barring that, because I am the chief law enforcement officer of the country, I would have said, listen, if we could reach a political solution with people like Igboho, with people like Asari, and with people like the northern Islamists in the north, is there a way we can reach a solution? Meaning, again, speaking on my own personal level, if I was president, that means you would have to renounce XYZ, tell your men to drop their arms, and let's move on into the future. There was something everybody else has said here. And Steph, nice seeing you again. It's been a long time. And my sincere apologies, you know, you've told your story before. And that's why I get wary when to say certain things, especially someone like Tony and Steph, whom I obviously love and have a lot of respect for, because I know they face personal pain on the whole issue, the fiasco in Nigeria. But this is my question, and this is why I asked him a question which he wasn't permitted to answer. He was on his way and everybody started talking. At what point do we now, if we say we want a stable, properly run country, which we know that one of the leading needs in Nigeria is a good judicial system. It is sorely lacking in Nigeria. There's no fairness. The court system is haphazard. People get locked up for stealing chickens and just get forgotten for 14 years. You know, like Nnamdi Kanu's case, we see there's a lot of postponements and recusals. Of course, this is because of the dynamics of the country, right? But at what point do we now say we want to follow the law? Because if every time someone gets arrested or charged or is being prosecuted, they can easily point and say, well, you didn't do that to that guy. Why are you doing it to me? You see what I'm saying? So when do we now start enforcing the law in Nigeria? Because this is a dangerous precedent. And this is one of the things that has kept Nigeria on its ass. Because cases are never properly prosecuted, laws are never properly enforced. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I think you asked, if you don't mind, let me take it from there. So, sorry,
go ahead.
look, what you're saying is not unreasonable. And, but it circles back to why we started coming to this, YouTube Live, right? The whole idea is, how do we build a country where there is equality, respect, and justice? And whatever is Nigerian anthem and whatever pledge that we pledge, used to pledge to before they brought us the British anthem, which is a disgrace. What we are saying is justice is justice, is at least whatever you're giving A, give it to B.
Simple.
Look, we do have, an illegitimate president. We know how this guy came to office. Well, do you know the point that we get to where he needs to resign, first of all? And first, because if we want to, because what you're building is utopia. Because even in America, where both of us reside, there is not justice. There is, for everybody, but at least it's fair to a good extent that people don't complain too much, right? We saw what happened with George Floyd, that made everybody now zone into the case, and you could see what people feel was the right thing was finally done. If people didn't zone into George Floyd's case, it would have gone the other way. So what we're saying is Nigeria is filled with criminals in our Senate, in our House of Rep, the governors. Look at the guy in Edo. How did he win the election? That guy normally can't win any primaries. The guy in Imo State, same problem. It's just all over the whole country. In the north, who does election? In Lagos, the House of the Speaker of Lagos House of Assembly that was impeached. The son has become head of one council in Lagos. The other person, is the country is a full crime scene. And everybody knows that we are living in a crime scene. So the question is, how do we push the reset button? I don't know. Maybe Trump, and that's why what Trump is saying, I don't think Trump is going to come. I think he's going to bluff. They're going to make a small deal somewhere. But there has to be something. Look, maybe this Nnamdi Kanu's case will make them make a mistake. Then they will, because we've got to have a reset. And I agree with you, whereby there has to be justice. Because people are in Lagos, like KJ said, saying there's no genocide. People are in America, like that pastor, I don't like to say his name, or John Abba, let me spell his name. He's here and said there's nothing genocide. These people are this one, that people are, this is criminal. This is people being heartless. Said, but there are people being up to now, the people in Kwara, even the president's people are being, unalived. What is going on? And people say, oh, the Southwest is like it's a song now. Southwest is the safe part of Nigeria. Which Southwest? Is it not the Owo people? How many times have you seen in Nigeria that they went to a church and just, mowed everybody down? Everybody knows what is in the forest in the Southwest. Once they have their go ahead, they will start again. And everybody, even this Wole Soyinka that is eating from one mouth and vomiting from, didn't he run out of his house? He ran out of his house. Because when they came there, he said, these people are enough. He was speaking through that time. You see, this country, we have a long way to go. There is so much evil in our hearts, and everybody knows it. And, maybe one day, maybe the solution is just that who will divide the country. Even if we divide it, we'll still fight in between the little groups. That's why we need to just find a way. Someone need to, I don't know, man. Sorry. That's why
it's the fault. It's the fault of Nigerians. Nigerians have to. The leaders. Wait. But the leaders did not fall from the sky.
No,
the leaders did not come from.
Let's move on. Let's
So,
move on.
Sir, I
Okay.
disagree. I
We
disagree.
have hold on. We'll have
Two things
a
can
new
be
entrance.
correct at the same time. What
Right.
you said is true. What you said is also true.
Yeah. Let's move on. Everybody loves electricity. You're welcome. Long time no see. Kwanabu, according to
God KJ, I just wake up. I see Nigerians and I see the we go explain. No evidence.
Yeah.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Longest time. Happy many New Years.
Happy
Who
New
is the
Year.
president here right now? Yeah. Is it one Africa? Who is the president, please?
He's still Bola Tinubu, has not changed.
Hallelujah. Still one. Sure. I went to the moon. I came back.
Welcome back.
Back from the moon.
It's good to see you back from
Listen,
the moon. Local peace.
It's nice to see you.
Not be respecting himself.
Electricity. Not be this electricity where we know the man where where they host this show. This one I'm waiting for him now. Come, but I know we know your mindset. Come, I'm waiting for you. Come.
Electricity don't change you. Electricity don't change. You know, be that mindset. All right, you have anything to contribute before we just call it a day for today?
Yeah, just only one. To Nigeria, what was the last thing you just said now, please? I speak the truth. What was the last thing you said just now?
What's wrong with your audio? We can't hear you.
I said it was Nigerians it's Nigerians' fault, the kind of leaders they have.
Why does anyone disagree with him? I don't understand. Does anyone disagree with him?
Yes, I
It's
do.
our fault. Why are you going to disagree with him?
Everybody loves. I think you've just come in, and I don't want to take your time so that you can make your contribution. But quickly,
come again.
I said you've just come in. I don't want to take your time.
AJ, when he talks, I like to counter that man. I'm waiting for that man. I know his mindset. He tells Igbos what to do. That's all. The only thing he comes here to do.
So me, in my opinion, I don't think it's Nigeria's. When you talk about Nigerians, what do you mean? I mean, you mean the whole 220 million?
Listen. The truth be told, I'm
It's
just
not.
echoing what. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I'm just echoing what he said now. It is in our own hands, not the leaders. It's in our own hands. Even though you don't see me here, I still do my work wherever I go. I still talk. And anywhere I go, I ask one question. Any Nigerian gathering I go, I listen to everyone and I ask one question. Can we stop giving bribe? 2 days ago, I asked the same question on the platform, and somebody said, no, we can't. Things can be done in Nigeria without giving bribe. I say, you see why we can never have change. This is the ordinary citizen. We're not talking about leaders. We're not talking about leaders. So the problem in the country is bribery and corruption. And the question I ask again, can the ordinary citizen stop giving bribe? Because if the ordinary citizen stop giving bribe, the taker, the axer, or the receiver will fight back. And when the receiver fights back, then we will start to see the resolution. But if we, the ordinary citizen, we are not ready to stop giving bribe, to change our mentality, our orientation, then where do we think we go from here? Let's be honest with ourselves. It's in our hands. It's not in anybody's hands. Whether we talk Kanu, we talk Tinubu, we talk this, we talk that. The ordinary citizens are not ready to change what is going on in Nigeria. We are not ready. That's just the truth. This thing is a sacrifice. It's a pain that we all have to go through. So if we are ready to bear that pain, to say yes, integrity before income, then we will move forward. But if it's the other way around, income before integrity, it is not achievable. Integrity before income. Integrity before income. Can we stop this? This is just ordinary citizen. I'm not talking about leaders. So you can't come and fight me that I'm supporting Tinubu or I'm supporting Wike or I'm supporting this and that. It's a simple question I ask. Can the ordinary citizens that walk on the street of Nigeria, that goes to the bank, that pass the police station, can we make that resolution, 30%, 40% of Nigerians, that we will stop giving bribe? Because when you stop giving bribe, the taker, I repeat, those who ask for bribe, the receiver, we always fight back. And when they fight back, then we will start to see that change and revolution we are looking for. You
All
can
right.
disagree all we want.
Can I just give a quick rebuttal?
Next,
I really apologize. This is very important. I mean, there is a mindset that we can't get a nation where we continue to put the egg before the chicken before the egg. It doesn't make any sense. This is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
You talk about corruption. You talk about corruption.
If you leave it there, I will like it. You have just made a full point there. Let's give the last guy the chance and then we'll wrap it up. It is after 12 and I have early morning tomorrow. So let me just say, yes, Mr. Ishi, is that correct?
Yes, you're correct. Good morning, guys. Good afternoon and good morning wherever you are. I've been listening to you guys, and the last speaker got my attention, and I really want to quickly jump into a response. But listen, is the reason why you can walk hand in hand with your wife on the street, and someone like me don't bounce on you and rape your wife on the street while you are there. It's not because of ordinary citizens. It is because there's a law and there's enforcement of law. The reason why I cannot stroll and run into Tesco and pick whatever item I want and go away is not because I'm a good guy. It's because there's law, there's enforcement, and there's consequences for actions. You see, that's a reason why we have government. Is this not the same Nigeria that we had under Abacha? Was Abacha a good person? No, Abacha was not a good person. There was Idiagbon. It is the same us. I lived through Idiagbon time. You lived through Idiagbon time. Were you not there when in the streets of Lagos that you come out at the bus stop waiting for those yellow buses, but we queue up in the bus stop to get into the bus? Were we not disciplined at that time? What happened? What changed? Because there was enforcement of law. We queue up in the bank. But to summarize everything, you see, the primary purpose of a government is to keep law and order. And because we are human beings that have different ideas, different opinions, that have different upbringings, the one thing that makes us coexist with each other is those things they call law and order. That is why we don't just go on the street and behead each other, because normally human beings were like animals. And the difference between we and the animals in the bushes is because we as human beings, we have laws, rules, we have do's and don'ts. And these do's and don'ts are supposed to be the primary purpose of having people who are trying to be government over us. And when these people fail, that is chaos. And that is what is happening in Nigeria. There is one question I've been waiting for you guys to ask concerning Nnamdi Kanu case. Every one of us asked for Nnamdi Kanu said to be brought to Nigeria. Every one of us asked for Nnamdi Kanu to be killed. But have you seen how foolish we all have become? And why have we been foolish? Nnamdi Kanu has been in our court for over 10 years. And this man has stood and said, what is my offense? You people are calling me, bring me, come and kill me. Now I am here. Tell me why you want to kill me. Your sons, your judges cannot bring out one thing based on our own law to convict a man. you can still see Nigerians who are still supporting this whole charade of a thing. I don't believe in what they did to Igboho or whatever. Right now, forget Igboho, forget the man they called in for peacekeeping, the terrorist guy. Just focus on Nnamdi Kanu. This is what he's saying. Nnamdi Kanu has been brought to Nigeria. Under what law are we charging him now? You cannot tell me. I cannot tell me. Even our judges cannot tell us. But yet it's still in court. But you still see some Nigerians who still have a reason to tell you, oh, he's Nnamdi Kanu do this. For me, Nigeria has gone beyond repair. There is no solution. There is nothing anyone can do. The best thing for Nigeria right now is to become the second Yugoslavia. Divide Nigeria into as many countries as you can. Let everybody go on their own way and start to develop with their own speed. That is all I have to say.
Sorry,
Thank
you so much.
Well said, my brother. Very well said.
Hold on, guys.
I need to
I
ask
promise you
him a
one thing.
question.
Can I just respond to
Just one question, sir.
Hold on. Okay,
During that
also,
Abacha Idiagbon you mentioned, what was the slogan at that time, please? What was the slogan?
War against indiscipline.
War
Thank
against
you very much.
indiscipline, yes.
You've answered your own question, yes.
Let me
hold on.
My understanding when I speak the
yes, okay, guys, hold on. So we don't digress. Hold on. We don't digress. Tomorrow, by the grace of God, when the case is over, we will have another broadcast to analyze whatever the judge and his team has planned to do. But we know, this is my opinion. I know that they are planning to put Nnamdi Kanu to a gallows.
Can you?
No, I don't think so.
KJ. These people know they fear.
They're not doing that.
We should stop apologizing anymore. Let them go and do whatever they want to Nnamdi Kanu. Then let's meet at the back end. People.
Let me say something about the bribery thing. Let me just end it with this bribery thing that you guys said. Why is it that Nigerians always, for example, and I'm putting this book on Shore's table because I see he has a lot of loyalists, and I actually do like him. Well, I would say I did like him because I'm seeing certain things I don't understand now. It's just 30 seconds. Just 30 seconds. Why can't we have, or why can't he organize with this so-called revolution and protest? Why can't they organize, start off with a 60-day, we're not paying bribes all over the country revolution? Or 90 days, we're not paying bribes, nobody's paying bribes, nobody's bribing anybody, nobody's taking bribes. That's way better than thinking.
So what they should stop paying bribe first before
all right. I thank you, Mr.
2 seconds before you close, please. Please, I want to speak to my brother in yellow that says let them do anything to Nnamdi Kanu. Then this thing. Listen, I'm Igbo, yeah, and as it stands right now, I am a very, very ashamed Igbo person. Igbo has lost its Igbo-ness. And I can categorically tell you right now, as we are sitting down here, that if by tomorrow they sentence Nnamdi Kanu to death and kill him inside the court, nothing will happen.
My brother, I've never disagreed. Everything you said today.
They have pushed the Igbos to the point that this Nnamdi Kanu shouldn't have existed. Igbos should have reacted long. But my brother. No matter what they do to us right now in Nigeria, nobody can do anything.
My brother, we know they go anywhere now. We are here now.
Stand up together as Igbos, then we will never be free in Nigeria.
I know now. No. Hold on now. Look, let's see what it's a movie now. Now you see that where actor they go kill, where they kill actor. Make we watch now. No worry.
All right. On that faithful note, I want to thank each one of you. Ngos. Nats, Nick. I mean, teach me how to call the name.
Ugwa.
Okay. Okay, Ugwa, thank you so much. You are the very first to come in, and I really appreciate your contribution. It was quite apt. Jagu is coming now. If I don't give him an opportunity, we'll say I've done bad. So please, you guys, just have Jagu for 2 minutes. Let him say what you need to do, and we'll close.
And I'll have another one.
Thank you. Thank you very much, KJ.
I really appreciate you on this show, man. Thanks. You have to be coming.
Thank you very much, KJ.
Thank you.
Good evening good morning indeed to everybody on the panel. I only have this thing to say. I've been listening to the whole thing. I've been saying from time to time that Nigerians are stupid. Our man, my brother Odi there, he doesn't like that adage, which is fair, and I do understand it. But he himself said it today. I don't know if he remembers that he said it very clearly. We are stupid. And in this stupidity, I don't mean to abuse. I mean for us to look in the mirror. I mean for us to look. We don't have, the whole discussion today, it was full of frustration. There is no way forward. That's what we have basically emanated. This our man, our new man there on top, Kilontikbe, your name is Negs. You know, you're very polite and you like to be politically correct. But all that kind of thing, you can throw it out the window when you're talking about Nigeria. You can throw it out of the window. It doesn't belong anywhere because it's not being used. You are far from Nigeria and you're saying that Nigeria is a sensible country. It is not a sensible country. Excuse me, let me just land. I am of the opinion always that Nigeria is greater together than it is apart. However, my consciousness is telling me that this country is coming to an end. What we do not recognize is that the opportunity that this idiotic Trump is giving us is for us to galvanize our spirit. But we are not going to take that time. We are not going to do it. Because why? Because we're stupid. We don't have balls. We don't know how to say no to the injustices that we all face because it's happening away from us. It needs to bite us in the ass before we can admit that there are injustices. We are a sorry lot. We are a sorry lot. We need to be ashamed. My brother, Steph, I'm very pleased to see you. I'm very pleased to see that you're well and you are looking smart as usual. KJ, I thank you for bringing me on. That's basically all I want to say. I thank everybody for being involved in this conversation.
Thank you so much, Jagun. I really appreciate that. And I want to end also in the same way that you have started. Look, a country can only be built with the same wage, with the same scale for everybody. You see, when I started studying the Nigerian pattern, I started realizing long time ago that nothing was real. Nothing was real. Not the census, not the the geographical locations and the landmarks itself, not the people. So everything was skewed towards making a particular section of something look good, even though it is not good. And that narrative has continued and is continuously to expand. Just some days ago, I was looking at a Nigerian map. Somebody brought it to my attention. He said, how come Benue is not? And then he said, have you seen anywhere in the cardinal points where there's a central Nigeria, not central, not west, not east, south. Those are conjunctions to just keep dividing the people. Now, and from what you were saying, he still went ahead. Why would there be 2 people in 4 different states when they all are supposed to be together in one place? Why? Why do you have to have, certain regions divided into small bits, and then there's no cohesion even with their own people? They wear the same clothes, they dress the same way, they speak the same way, but they've been splitted into different units around. Before now, it was the thief people who stopped the advancement of jihadists. But now they don't have that cohesion to be able to do that kind of a thing because they've been divided into pieces. So the question be, are we really serious Can you, if you leave this show now, go and look at the Nigerian map again and say, please try to divide it north south, north south, and north south, east and west, and then tell me how the east, which is where I come from, is supposed to be east. If you call my part east, then what do you call Cross River and Kwaibo? Okay, go look at it. So if we are ready, no, I'm not going to allow you to speak. I'm ending it because it's already too long. If we,
I just want to say that the Igbo land is not east. The most easterly part of our country is not Igbo land. It's more the what you would call the Igbo land is more Middle East rather than middle. Yes, now you won't call it east.
So you discover that the whole arrangement had been made, not right in the first place.
I agree.
And then, if we want to go on as a country, let us sit down and marshal these things out. Okay, why will you will negotiate with a terrorist who is ravaging the north, the middle belt, but you not negotiate with Nnamdi Kanu or the Eastern Security Network or the IPOB people who have been just demonstrating with flags? You will not negotiate with them. You can't negotiate with them, and all you can tell them is that you are just a dot, and we can finish you.
God don't carry that one. They go. No worry about our past tense.
But he caused all our problems. He was an architect of our own.
So let us again sit down as we move in, and let us observe and see if there's going to be really any change. But I doubt, because we are constantly being divided as the day go by, even further away from each other. And only God will help Nigeria. On that faithful note, I thank all of you. And I want to say also, those of you who come from, I'm not talking to any of you here, and I'm talking with those people in the panel who come to represent government. Please, these are our views. They have canvassed their views. They are entitled to their opinion. We're not speaking for government, and we're not speaking for anybody. So don't go and begin to give them to your masters to look for how to arrest them. We are here discussing what is our problem. It's not for you or the government agencies to begin to look for anybody here. I think you should have more problem in your hands than looking at people on the internet to go and arrest. Thank you so much, each and every one of you. God bless you all. And we look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow, because we'll eventually discuss how it went down, and then, see how God will help us all. Thank you all, and have a good night or good morning, as the case may be. Bye, sir.
1,911 billion. 1,911 billion 844,833 naira and 46. I'll take that again. 1,911 billion 844 billion 1 trillion. This money is too much for me.
I am adure lele, idu kwa samaka onyoma odika powder, idu kwa samuku onyoma odika fomu, idu kwa samishi onyoma odika pilo. Oh lo 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 lo, aturubu ebule wakamwa iwariwo. Ice Rosa Olerio. Rosanna Oleri, Rosanna Oleri, Odikadimba. Adure Oleri, Adure Oleri, Adure, Aturubwe Bule Wakawa, Iuriu, Adure, Adure Lele, Adure, Adure Lele, Idu Wasamaka, Onyoma, Odika Powder. Idu kwa samuku onyoma odika fumu. Idu kwa samishi onyoma odika pilu. Ololo lolo, aturubu epule wakawa, iwariwo.